Play, Ildefonso will slam it home. LJ step back free. It's good to beat the buzzer.
Three-pointer. Block! That's a big one for Marvin Taiwan.
He gets the ball back. Backdoor. Pagaran lays it in. Nice pass from Gatbanan. The Quezon Huskers reign supreme in the South. Job well done for the Abra Solid North Weavers. We have the new kings of the North this season and will enter the MPBL National Final.
The ultimate title of Season 7 is up for grabs, and the Abra Solid North Weavers get first dibs on hosting the Quezon Huskers inside the jam-packed Governor Andres B. Bernos gym in the beautiful province of Abra. LJ Gonzalez and Dave Ildefonso are just about ready for primetime energy. This is the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League National Finals.
Kings of the North this season. Gonzalez with a throwdown. Oh, Mr. Brickman with a free. Well, the Quezon Huskers reign supreme in the South. Kanina palinggo yan, and they finally score. Babay, the cleanup goal. Pagbuwas, yes!
Oh! A rim rocker!
Simon Snapdragon! Step back three. It's good! Ildefonso will slam it home!
Not allow those dribble penetration.
Well done. The MPBL National Final.
Somewhere in the mountains of Abra is where it all begins. The best of the North and the South collide on the league's grandest stage as the Abreños are in full force to support their team, as this will be the home of the MPBL National Finals for the first two games, the beautiful town of Bangued. And at the heart of this beautiful province is the Governor Andres B. Bernos Memorial Gymnasium in Bangued, Abra, where tonight it all begins for the Quezon Huskers as they return as the back-to-back South Division champions, embracing the role of being the massive underdogs, much like last season. And on the other side, you've got the Weavers. They enter this game as the undisputed kings of the North, the undeniable favorites, powered by an unprecedented 33-game winning streak as they set their sights on the ultimate prize. This is a full-size crowd inside our historic venue as the Quezon Huskers look to flip the script tonight as they are led by one of the top point guards in the MPBL, LJ Gonzalez. And on the other side, they battle Dave Ildefonso as they seek to fulfill their promise in front of their beloved Abreños. Game number 1, two teams bound for greatness. It's the Quezon Huskers going up against the Abra Solid North Weavers. Magandang gabi mga kaliga. Ken Pangilinan with Coach Mike Perez at courtside. We have Miss Mika Abisamis. And Coach Mike, Quezon has an unfinished business dating back from last season. Abra, perhaps the most dominant team in MPBL history. How do you see this matchup playing out between these two teams?
Well, first off, I think both teams actually have very unfinished business heading into this season. And especially this, I feel this series is going to be a magical one, considering that we have the top two defensive teams. Abra being second when it comes to points that they score in a game. Samantalang ito naman Quezon, our top 3-point shooting team. So on both ends of the floor, offense and defense, this is going to be an interesting battle between Abra and the Quezon Huskers.
Good news para sa ating mga kaliga, Coach Mike, dahil live po tayo. Nagbabalik ang Liga ng Bawat Pilipino on the official MPBL Facebook page, also live on the MPBL YouTube channel, also on Solar Sports and on PusoP.com. And Coach Mike, silipin natin yung ating updated playoff bracket where these two teams, they were the top teams at the end of the elimination round in their respective divisions, pero magkaiba yung kanilang tinahak na daan in getting here.
Oh, itong Abra almost, just going into the finals, relatively the easier route, had to wait for that series between Binyan and Quezon to finish up. So one might say that Quezon might have had, a number of games playing heading into this finals match, but we'll see the adjustments of both these teams of the Abra Weavers and the Quezon Huskers.
But now, all that matters is that they are 3 wins away from getting the MPBL National Championship. Talking about itong Quezon Huskers, Coach Mike, they were the #1 team in the South Division for the 2nd straight year. Nakalaban nila itong #8 team, the Mindoro Tamaraws, and then here in the South Division Finals, they were able to hold off Binyan in 5 games. This was a grueling series para dito sa Quezon Huskers.
Yeah, what's impressive about that series, and a lot of things that they can take out of that itong Quezon Huskers with that Binyan series is, nakita nila yung puwersa sa loob. Na maaring harapin rin nila pagdating dito sa laban nito with the Abra Weavers. So how much of that can they use here? It really matters on how they adjust.
And for more on the Quezon Huskers, let's go to Mika.
Maraming salamat, Ken. Coach Mike, naging madugo nga ang journey nitong Quezon Huskers getting to the national finals. Sabi nga ni Coach Eric, down to the last second of that 5th game, walang solid answer kung sino ba talagang papasok sa national finals. But he had one thing on his mind, and that was to defend the South title. And for more on Coach Eric Gonzalez, panoorin po natin ito.
Halos similar lang naman yan with Pampanga. Etong Abra, yung winning tradition nila ngayon this season is very evident. Hindi sila madaling kalaban din. Siyempre, they prove it already. Ang maganda lang, hindi sila defending champion. Siguro yun yung window. Ipuprove pa lang nila. Siguro, malaking bagay yung how we mentally approach the game. Kahit na alam naming malakas sila, we never doubted what faith can do. Yung faith namin sa isa't isa, tsaka yung faith namin, we could have a good fight for this series.
At yan nga napag-usapan ni Coach Eric Gonzalez yung experiences nila sa national finals. Nakausap ko etong si Cap Gab Banal. Sabi niya, Mika, sawang-sawa na kami na iniisip ng mga tao that we couldn't even get 1 game in a series against powerhouses. Last season against Pampanga at ngayon naman dito sa Abra Weavers. Kaya nga daw sila nagbuo ng magandang lineup, lalo na ang frontline para makapagdepensa sila ng maayos. And he said it's time to prove everybody wrong. Yan, Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Mika. At nais nilang baguhin yan sa serye na ito going up against the Abra Solid North Weavers. And well, when we talk about the Quezon Huskers, Coach Mike, LJ Gonzalez, phenomenal in that series against Binyan. But particularly in game number 5, nakita natin, Coach Mike, how he struggled in the first half. In fact, only played a total of a little over 5 minutes, did not even play the entire second quarter. But when it mattered the most, he really delivered para dito sa Quezon.
Oh, entire playoffs, si LJ is pretty much close to a triple-double machine in entire playoffs. Even when he started in that series against Mindoro, he started off in that game number 1 with 14, 11, and 13 on a 50% field goal shooting. But when you swing over to that Binyan series, where he really just does what's needed of him, he turned to scoring in games 2, 3, all the way to 5, scoring 25, 16, and 15 in those series. And huwag natin kalilimutan, in the last 4 games of LJ Gonzalez, he's hitting 8 of his 17 attempts, roughly about 47% from 3. And wag natin ring kalilimutan na ang average ni LJ Gonzalez in terms of assists, nothing below 5 assists per game, except for that game number 5 where he really turned into scoring.
And a worthy adversary para dito sa Abra Solid North Weavers. And Abra, Coach Mike, again, that 33-game winning streak. And here against Pangasinan, ending one of the Cinderella runs we've had here this season. And they did it in a variety of ways, Coach Mike.
Well, one thing that I got from the teams that actually went up against the Abra Weavers in the playoffs, and even sometimes in the regular season, they still don't have an answer on who to beat, who to guard defensively, lalo na heading into the latter part of the season, where chemistry and talent has really flowed in more, mas maganda para dito sa Abra Weavers. Matter of fact, the only one that has solved this puzzle is really the Pasay Voyagers, but since then, no one has really figured out this puzzle of the Abra Weavers.
And for more on Abra, let's go to Mika.
Maraming salamat. You know, sweeping the Pangasinan Heatwave, sabi ni Coach Yong Garcia, alam naman niya, no, that everybody is expecting them to win this in 3 games itong series na to. Pero sabi niya, teka muna ha, baka nakakalimutan ng mga tao, mas maraming experience ang Quezon Huskers pagdating sa National Finals. At matindi ang kanilang chemistry, especially in terms of passing. Kaya naman, for more on Coach Yong Garcia, panoorin po natin ito.
A very exciting match because we all know that Quezon is pangalawang year nila to sa national finals. Para sa akin, napaka-exciting ng match. Satisfied sa performance ng team. Satisfied kami na nandito kami sa national finals. Pero syempre, ang gusto namin is makuha yung national championship.
You know, Ken, Coach Mike, entering the dugout of Abra, grabe talaga yung mararamdaman mo. The players know that they were collected here from different top colleges, different countries, and different teams for one reason, and that is to get the championship. Ken, Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Mika. And now they try to fulfill the promise of bringing a championship here in the beautiful province of Abra. And at the forefront of that, Coach Mike, is Dave Ildefonso. We talked about his struggle shooting the basketball here in the playoffs. But boy, in this series against Pangasinan, nakita natin how Dave really took over, especially in game number 3. Nakita natin, grabe the aggressiveness that he had in showing in that closeout game against Pangasinan, doing the damage here. But you see here, Commissioner Kenneth Dorendes having a word with both Quezon and Abra and trying to keep things in order, especially this is gonna be a very intense series, Coach Mike.
Yeah, definitely. And itong Abra Weavers, sa tulad nga sabi ni Coach Yong, parang what he's saying is that job's not finished and they don't mean a thing without the ring. And so Dave Ildefonso, we talked about him, his struggles from shooting, but man, he's really contributed in different ways. Scoring, assisting, rebounding, those things he's done so well. And pag tinignan mo yung Caloocan series, pumunta siya sa assist sa contribution niya. Pagdating dito sa Pangasinan, it really was more on rebound. More importantly, he ended that slump with a really good shooting in game number 3, 47% from the field. And heading into this game, very important that Dave reaches that number in terms of field goal shooting.
And average a double-double in that series, 13 points, 10 rebounds. Coach Mike, quickly lang, no? How do you see this matchup? What do you think is going to be the key to this series between Quezon and Abra?
I think it's while we talk a lot about the defense, I feel offensively it's the tweaks and the adjustments of both these teams. How do you make that offense outlast that defense? Because one thing is for sure, that defense is going to be in front of you every time you go to another option and another layer of your offensive sets.
And the Quezon Huskers looking to register their very first win in the MPBL National Finals. Tandaan natin, they did not win a single game against the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. And now, it's time for the ultimate showdown. The Quezon Huskers go up against the Abra Solid North Weavers in game number 1 of the MPBL National Finals. Let's go, Richard Campos, to get things started here.
The wait is over! Naragsak nga rabi tay amin Abreños. The battlefield is set for the Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Season 7 National Finals. Quezon Huskers versus your Abra Solid North Weavers. Live on Solar Sports, Husupi.com, YouTube channel, and on the official FB page, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Mga kaliga, dito sa Governor Andres Bernos Memorial Gym, Bangued, Abra. Are you ready? We now introduce the players from both teams. Let's start with the visiting South Division back-to-back champions, Quezon Huskers.
Do not allow those dribble penetrations. Job well done. Opting for a very competitive team.
And they finally scored on that side. They take the back 3. It's good! Simon Snapdragon! the MPBL National Finals for the second consecutive year.
A young man filled with promise and passion, number 18, Jared Sevilla. He's been providing a spark in the last couple of games, number 1, Eman Tagle. He's a quick strike and offensive organizer, number 29, Alvin Abundo. Next on the deck is a bruising buffalo, number 22, Joseph Gabayni. A multi-position defender, number 24, RJ Minerva. A bucket maker from everywhere, number 25, Al Francis Thompson. A versatile wingman, number 17, Jason Opiso. Another flight-ready, elevated, and explosive, number 8, Christian Pagaran. A two-way specialist, number 41, Joshua Yero. A stylish playmaker, number 20, Topeng Lagrama. A do-it-all forward who can also strike from beyond the arc, number 93, Vince Magbuhos. Moving on with a relentless big man, the Excalibur, number 5, Simon Sandagon. His iron-willed and great defender, number 0, Will Gozum. The ice-cold captain under pressure, the MPBL Season 2 MVP, number 77, Gab Banal. Is one of the craftiest in the game with perfectly timed shots and times, number 13, the Riddler, LJ Gonzalez. Their head coach is Eric Gonzalez, assisted by Richie Dixon, Ed De La Torre, Luis Delasco, Jonathan De Guzman, Nash Rosella, Bernard De Guia, and Councilor Jeric Teng. Team Manager Attorney Don Capunan. Team Honors Governor Doc Helen Tan, Congressman Mike Tan, and Mayor Ralph Lim. Ladies and gentlemen, the Quezon Huskers. Get ready to cheer for the North Division champions, your Abra Solid North Weavers!
So pinasa yung ayon-ayon. His second straight free to begin this match. John Oduba with a great rim run.
Abra Solid North Weavers going through the victory.
Also lines it up for 3. It's Wood. Gio Chu inside.
Dominate and dominant because that's what pretty much they've done.
Sid Rickman with a free. Ildefonso will slam it home.
And more importantly, it's a 33-game winning streak, and they have
Their first appearance in the MPBL National Finals.
Let's start with a certified gunner ready to explode from deep. Number 10, Jolo Mendoza. Your steady and dependable wingman on both ends of the floor, number 8, Simon Camacho. Another dominant force down low, number 30, Ryan Batino. Let's keep it rolling with the tenacious and determined grinder. Now on the floor, number 24, John Lawrence Uduba. Is guiding the team with experience and impeccable voice. The heartbeat of the locker room, number 83, Mark Yee. One of the team's biggest boost this season, seeing plays before they happen. The court magician, number 15, Jason Brickman. Another warrior from Bukay who's ready to disrupt his opponent, number 13, Jorel Gonzalez. A versatile force who moves like no other, number 9, Raven Gonzalez. Next on the deck is a lockdown defender from Calaba, Bangued, number 23, Riddell Fabro. Blends and adjusts instantly. An MPBL champion and finals MVP, number 28, Mike the Clay Ayon. A point guard who whips passes like strong winds and drops shots like heavy rain. Number 4, Marwin Typhoon Taiwan. Another gutsy hometown warrior is ready to step up for you. From Langangilang, number 12, Wilkin Lee. Making his way to the action, the inside presence you can't ignore. Ready to take the floor wearing 18, Gio Chu. A formidable combo guard with pure razzle-dazzle, number 2, the Storm Commando, Encho Serrano. Bringing it all together is an astonishing player, laying down the law on the hardwood. Your court commander, number 1, Sheriff Dave Ildefonso. The head coach is Yong Garcia. Assistant coaches, Denok Miranda, Don Uro, Edsel Baliena, and Jerry Andalion. With the team coordinator, Francis Ocampo, assistant team manager, Waylon Nibaten, team manager, Chris Conway, and the team owner is Honorable Congressman J.B. Bernos. Your Abra Solid North Weavers. At this time, please rise for the entrance of colors. Let's sing all together the Philippine National Anthem.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Hayang magiliw, ewas ang sinakalan,
Marami pong salamat. You may now be seated. Both teams please gather at the center court for the sportsmanship handshake. First five from both teams, please stay on the court as we are about to start the game. Referees for this ball game are crew chief J. Castro Verde with Richard Carpio.
All right, we begin festivities here. Game number 1 of the MPBL National Finals between the Quezon Huskers and the Abra Solid North Weavers. As we're just about to get into tip-off here for the Quezon Huskers. Still missing Judel Fuentes, the backcourt of LJ Gonzalez and Joshua Hierro. Up front, Joseph Cabayni, Al Francis Tamsi, and Vince Magbuhos. The North Division champions begin with Jason Brickman, Mike Ayonayon, Gio Chu, John Uduba, and Dave Ildefonso. Our game officials for this game are J. Castroverde, Richard Carpio, Jackson Mabandos, and Brian Ramirez. And the two coaches already shared their thoughts, Coach Mike, on how they're approaching this series. Coach Yong Garcia for Abra, Coach Eric Gonzalez for Quezon. And with the Huskers, Coach Mike, this is their second consecutive appearance in the national stage. But, Coach Eric, putting things into perspective, last season, they went up against a team that defended their championship. But this time around, against an equally mighty Abra Solid North Weaver squad as they get the tip here, Coach Mike. Nakikita niya no, na meron silang pagkakataon because despite everything that Abra has achieved, largely they've been unproven until all the way here in the national finals.
Yeah, indeed. And katulad nga na-mention ni Coach Eric, maaaring hindi pa defending champion itong Abra Weavers, but to their part, experience really is the best teacher. And so you being there, na nakalaban mo na yung powerhouse ng Pampanga Giant Lanterns, ngayon, pagkakataon naman na sila naman ang matawag na defending champions kung makukuha nila itong titulong ito this season.
This is the first time that Brickman and LJ Gonzalez are facing off against each other. Quezon getting a stop. Hierro kicks it out. Al Tamsi. Shot fake. Pasa palabas kay Vince Magbuhos, who had that solid outing in game number 5 against Binyan. Now it's with LJ Gonzalez. 9 on their shot clock. Takes the free. And a good sign for the Huskers as Gonzalez hits it from downtown.
Well, if there's one thing that LJ has done so well this playoffs is to see that beautiful pass by Jason Brickman over to Gio Chu. Well, LJ's pretty much shot the ball very well. He picks his spots, understands when he's needed to score and when he's needed to assist or rebound for his team.
Quezon in that series against Binyan got off to slow starts, especially in their losses. So that's gonna be key, Coach Mike, no? Lalo they're on the road facing off against Abra.
Oo, totoo yan. And them being here is, again, a good chance for them to prove themselves. The last time that they were here and they battled against Abra, it was pretty much a slow start, so to speak, for the Quezon Huskers. But now, you know, with things being different and new guys coming in, gusto nilang patunayan na, you know, they got a shot against the Weavers.
Dave Ildefonso, who had 25 points in that elimination round game against Quezon, got fouled. Also something to watch. Quezon is one of the foul-prone teams in the MPBL. So double-edged sword, no? Yung kanilang pagiging isa sa pinaka-matinding depensa na pinapakita nila dito sa ating liga.
At kadalasan napafoul sila. So see a good jumper right there by Dave Ildefonso. Kadalasan napafoul ito ang Quezon Huskers when they start going inside the paint. When they try to look for those layups. And especially if they make their threes, there's a huge tendency that their opponents will foul them inside the paint.
Joseph Cabayni earning another starting nod for the Huskers. Gonzalez, kick out pass. Magbuhos lines it up from the corner. He misses. Brickman, nasundutan sa likod. It will stay with the Weavers. They're up 4-3.
Now that's a matchup, Ken. I'm sure everybody's looking forward to Jason Brickman against LJ Gonzalez. You see that good jumper right there by David Defonso, contrary to how they played in the regular season to start that game. No struggle so far, even for Jason Brickman on that three.
Has shot the ball well, efficiently at that from beyond the arc. Jason Brickman drills a three.
He's averaging about 52% shooting from three the entire playoffs. One of the top 3-point shooters. See a good block right there by Gio Chu.
Supalpal, inabot ni Magbuhos kay Gio Chu. Brickman momentarily losing LJ. They go to Dave Ildefonso on the right side. Guarded by Joshua Yero. Pulls back for three. Gabayni comes away with a rebound. 7-0 run by the Weavers.
Yeah, kung naman ang Quezon Huskers, nagugustuhan mo dito. One and done lang ang opensa nitong Abra Weavers. Wala nang second shot opportunities. We secure that rebound and run our side.
LJ with back-to-back triples as he pulls Quezon to within one, 7-6.
This is one thing that was missing noong regular season meeting nila. Yung 3-point makes para dito sa Quezon Huskers. And it is very important for them to be really good at that. Because ito ang mga primary weapons nila offensively.
Brickman nakalusot, Mintes, pero nandoon si Gio Chu to clean it up.
Well, that's the first offensive rebound and not much you can do with that big guy, Gio Chu, claiming that offensive board and turning it into 2 points for the Weavers.
9-6 as we are now at the 6-minute mark of the first quarter. Joshua Yero, who had 8 points in the first quarter of game number 5 against Binyan, missing on a 3. Ayon na yun. Udupa, pinasa muna kay Jason Brickman. Gio Chu offering a pick. Skips it to Dave Ildefonso. Working on Joshua Yero. Fires a pass to Mike Ayon. In trouble. Still time remaining on their shot clock. But he airballs a free as Al Tamsi is down on the floor for the Huskers.
Now really a good set for the Abra Weavers. A little bit of confusion on which layer of the offense, ano yung pupuntahan nila. They thought they still had time, but you know, late in the shot clock na yun, naging tira na yun para dito kay Mike Ayon.
Tamsi a bit shaken up. He will be reprieved in the meantime by Christian Pagaran. Abra is up by 3 points, 9-6. And Coach Mike, with Coach Yong Garcia naman, binanggit ni Coach Eric na mayroong pagkakataon yung kanyang kupunan given the relative inexperience nitong Abra pagdating sa stage na ito. This is their very first time in the national final. Samantala, with Coach Yong Garcia, he recognizes as well that they're facing off against a team that has experienced the grandest stage here last season against the two-time defending champions, Pampanga Giant Lanterns.
And that to me is really just knowing your opponent, where they're coming from, the type of experience that they've had, their personnel, their schemes. To see this set up right here for that straight-up three by LJ.
Three-point shot is brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
And it's gone pretty good in terms of three-point makes. Like we said earlier, last 4 games is 47% shooting, going 8 of 17 from 3, and the last 4 for LJ.
Ildefonso misfires. Rebound, LJ Gonzalez. He pushes.
Nice.
Oh, open in the lane. Santagon lays it up and in.
Well, ganina pinag-usapan natin kung depensa ang pag-uusapan, talaga nga naman tops itong dalawang teams na ito. It really matters when you catch them late in their defensive schemes, and that time around, ganda ng pagkaka-open na yun para kay Simon.
Abra shooting 40% while Quezon 33.3% from the field. Serrano comes in early for the Weavers. His shot off the heel, and ball will go back to Quezon. Rebounding, Coach Mike, is also going to be key in this series as we first take a look at this assist of the game powered by 747 Live. Dito ka sa Legit.
A little bit of confusion who was going to take that roller. Si Enzo Serrano was supposed to be the low man help, but he came in late and libre na si Simon Sandagon in that instance.
Coach Yong Garcia challenging that last out-of-bounds play will be back for the result of this one.
Upon review, the challenge was successful.
Successful challenge from Coach Yong Garcia. So ball will stay on the side of the Weavers.
And that ball got tipped. Oh yeah, clearly it was on Hierro coming off his fingertips before it went out.
Fresh 14 on their shot clock. Brickman will trigger it in from the baseline na kay Encho Serrano ang bola. Ang kanyang pantay ay si Alvin Abundo. Pinasa muna kay David Defonso. 5 on their shot clock. Brickman about the same spot. This time he misses.
Well, clearly they had somebody work on defensively against Jason. Oh, what a move!
Dami nilusutan ni NJ doon. Napasa niya kay Christian Pagaran who hit that big free late in game number 5 against Benyan. Knocks down another one here. As deflection from Vince Magbuhos, he receives the pass. Ups down on that jumper.
That's
now
a
it's
shot.
Abundo. He drives, lays it up and in with his left hand.
Well, you see how that paint was clear. Nobody was in there. And really just allowed Alvin Abundo for that left-hand finish. But you like the unselfishness of the Quezon Huskers. But I felt one of those two guys that got that ball, either Pagaran or Magbuhos, already had a shot. But the good thing, Alvin Abundo was still able to get inside the paint and finish off with a left-handed layup.
Play of the Game is brought to you by 747 Live. Dito ka sa legit your game, your chance, your thrill, only with 747 Live.
Well, Gio had to commit himself to that long closeout, didn't want to stay home, only because, you know, siguro by scouting, si Alvin Abundo isa sa mga three-point shooters na binabantayan rin nila. And so when you see him on that side of the floor and he's free, you have to go out and challenge his shot.
Raven Gonzalez and Ryan Batino are now in for Abra. Encho puts it on the deck. Spins, turns around, and hits a jumper over RJ Minerva.
Every time you have Encho Serrano, left side of the floor, on a two-dribble move and a spin going the lane side, you know that's his patented move, and he's very comfortable finishing it.
Abundo, ganap na papasahan, pinuntahan si Sandagon. Drop pass to RJ Minerva, lost it. Pagaran recovers, jump shot from the baseline, it's good.
So far, ang ganda ng ball movement na itong Quezon Huskers. It's making that defense rotate constantly for the Weavers, catching it late and then attacking it.
Dave, met by Minerva. It's with Brickman. Momentarily escaping Eman Tagle. Jumper off the mark. Offensive rebound. Grabbed by Ryan Batino. He forces his way in and he kisses it off the glass and in for the Abra Solid North Weavers.
Well, simula nung pumasok si Gio Chu at yung pagganda ng performance ni Raven Gonzalez, there's been little talk about Alfred Batino, but you see the value of Batino. When things don't work, he's one option that you can go to offensively and even defensively.
Quezon so far has been breaking down itong depensa nitong Abra. Another basket courtesy of Simon Sandagon.
How important is ball and man movement? Nobody going on multiple dribbles for the Huskers. They just keep on moving that ball, making that defense work.
Serrano backing down Abundo. Shot no good. The follow-up is good for Encho Serrano. 17-15. Lamang ang Quezon ng dalawa. 72 seconds remaining in the first period. Eman Tagle, the pass to Minerva. Sandagon, the fake, goes up strong. 2 points for Sandagon for a total of 6 here in quarter number 1.
One of the things that the Huskers did, Ken, in the fourth quarter of that regular season game, as you see that floater in there by Raven Gonzalez, was they used JP Sarao and the other bigs going on a foot speed battle inside the paint for the Huskers. And that worked. And I'd like to think they are continuing it now here in game number 1.
Minerva sa bandang kaliwa. Sandagon up top. 5 seconds left sa kailang shot clock. Abundo. Pasa kay Minerva. Fires a free and buries that one to give Quezon a 5-point lead, 22-17.
They're forcing the bigs of the Weavers to get out of the paint and challenge those threes. And every time they make those, talaga mapapaisip ka kung ikaw ang big ng Weavers.
9 seconds remaining. This is a good sign if you're the Huskers, not yet in penalty late in this period. Again, binanggit natin na bagamat sila yung isa sa mga pinakamatitibay na depensa dito sa ating liga, Coach Mike, their penchant for getting into foul trouble early has at times given them trouble, especially in that Binyan series.
Right. And minsan nagiging detrimental sa kanila. But they really, that's how it is. And again, if you get them to the free throw line, you got to forget about that and move on to the next defensive coverage.
Serrano. Nice help defense by Will Gozom. The flip shot by Jason Brickman to beat the buzzer. They will check it, but it looked good to end the quarter for the Abra Solid North Weavers.
Well, Richard Campos called him the magician, and so that's what he's done so far in that buzzer-beating shot to end the first, really taking that ball in his hands and finishing it off late in the buzzer. It goes in before the buzzer sounds.
And it counts as we see what transpired here in the first quarter where LJ Gonzalez hit that free to begin festivities. Abra got off to that 7-0 run, pero maganda yung pagtugon dito ng Quezon Huskers.
Really, for the most part, when you look at the shot chart of the Quezon Huskers, a lot of that's taken outside on threes and even inside the paint. This time, they got really good at perimeter shot making.
And of quarter number 1, lamang ang Quezon over Abra 22-19.
Back in Bangged, Abra coach Eric Gonzalez, while in prayer, said to the boys, remove sa consciousness nyo na South Division champions lang tayo. Allow yourselves to achieve more. We have the tools, nagpalaki tayo sa lineup, nag-ipon ng guards na magagaling. By the way, just a confirmation, Judel Fuentes is playing in this series as a fact. Maybe in game 2 or 3, but he will. Coach Eric also realized na hindi na sila ang number 1 defensive team, no? It's already Abra. Actually, I talked to Coach Mike at sabi nga niya, number 1 at 2 sila this whole season. So sabi ni Coach Eric, we are practically tied in every category. Let's defend, pababaan na lang ng score, and more importantly, you have to realize that this is a battleground and not a playground. So fight the good fight of faith, and so far, so good. Can Coach Mike?
Maraming salamat, Nika, and they're showing it right now, the way they've taken it right to Abra at the get-go. And oftentimes, lalo in game number 1 in this building, Coach Mike, other teams have had trouble of dealing with the crowd, the way Abra has been intimidating in the first minutes of the game. But Quezon, to their credit, they removed that tag of, alam nila, hindi lang sila South Division champions. They could achieve so much more, and they have a golden opportunity tonight. Christian Pagaran in transition lays it up and in. Lamang ngayon sila ng 5 puntos, 24-19.
Well, I just want to say, Ken, you limit a team that averages 80-plus points per game in the Abra Weavers. You limit them in the regular season to only 63 points on a 10-point loss. You would have done your part defensively.
Last break of the game is brought to you by Extreme X-Pop, personal karaoke speaker every day. Karaoke. Cholo Mendoza. Lost it. Kanino mapupunta ang bola? It will go to Quezon.
Yeah, it'll go to Quezon. And I wanted to point that out, Ken, yung kanina yung sa regular season meeting nila, because defensively, ginawa ba ng Huskers yung dapat nilang gawin, covering against the offense of the Weavers? Yes, but did they make their shots? No, that was the challenge in the regular season. And so I'd like to think Coach Eric has seen a template where they would have a chance against these Weavers.
Lagrama, pasa palabas kay Magbuhos. Outside, Gab Banal for 3. Way off. Rebound, Raven Gonzalez.
What you got to do if you're the Weavers, run it the other way every opportunity that you have.
Pagaran with those hands deflecting that. But Magbuhos and Banal not on the same page. Taiwan, though, not forcing up the pass intended to Serrano, will reset their offense. Mendoza, catch and shoot free. It will roll out. Popeng, pasa kay Christian Pagaran. Pagaran trying to escape Serrano but losing the basketball in the process. Mendoza onto the front court, attacking the defense of Lagrama. And Banal secures the rebound for the Huskers. Popeng on the left side. Nakalusot kay Taiwan. Pasa kay Magbuhos. Titikada sa tres. No good. Gonzalez gives it up to Encho Serrano. 2 minutes gone by in the second period.
This is how much the defense has actually influenced the last few possessions for both these teams. Nobody getting an easy look and everybody trying to, take shots against a defense right in front of them. And napakahalaga niyan, especially for the Quezon Huskers. If you keep bringing the score down, you are actually doing a good job if you're the Huskers. Now, if you're the Weavers, you got to be more efficient with your shots because when you met them in the regular season, it was the threes of David Defonso that really led them to that victory. And without that right now, kailangan mo ibang umiscore.
LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL. Quezon still in front by 5, 24-19. Gonzalez returns. Bozum. Pinasa pabalik kay LJ. Has hit 2 threes already. This time he drives, floats it up and in. And this is now the biggest lead for the Huskers at 7 points, prompting Coach Yong Garcia to sue for time.
Well, switches and help. That's been the challenge for the Weavers. They have made that defense rotate for the Quezon Huskers, and LJ Gonzalez on that 2-man game just goes to that snake move, enough to finish with that floater amidst the bigs.
We're featuring, Coach Mike, 2 of the top defensive teams in the league the entire season, itong Quezon Huskers and Abra Solid North Weavers.
Well, you only allow less than 70 points for your opponent between these two teams. But the clear difference, rebounds advantage para dito sa Abra Weavers, and the fast break points, that pretty much has been the numbers that have actually led the Weavers to this point of the season.
What you're liking for Quezon right now, Coach Mike, is in that series against Binyan, actually for that entire series against them, not one team has eclipsed the 70-point mark. Hirap na hirap silang mag-generate ng kanilang opensiba. But here, it seems like they really found a rhythm. And we talked about how Quezon thrives on that as opposed to them breaking down their initial defender. Ball movement ang kanilang susi in terms of them being successful on that end of the floor.
At saka, maaring meron silang nakuha dun sa previous series against Binyan. You have to remember, they had to deal on the post with Mark Pingris and then Warren Bonifacio. Those two are tough in there. But right now, the way that this first quarter or the first initial quarters are being run, they're relatively finding easier ways to get to the gaps, get that ball, and make shots.
What a pass. And it finds the hands of Jason Opiso, pretty much automatic from that distance. Quezon is ahead by 9, 28-19. Ildefonso will nail a free over Campanal.
Well, if there's one thing that you like about Dave hitting that three is that, he continues to find his range, but the other guys gotta help out as well. Especially, I feel ang mas nagiging challenge dito yung depensa, yung pag-rotate, lalo na on the perimeter coverages.
Sa loob, Opiso challenging the defense of Gonzalez. Mike to Dave. Now it's with Marwin Taiwan.
You gotta watch out for Dave. He might be set up for another 3 here.
The pass to Mike Ayonayon. Ildefonso, pinapantayan ni Hierro. Puts up the free again, and he scores!
Oh, wow. A nonchalant, one-legged three-pointer from Dave D.I. Ildefonso. got that ball very high, but he still was able to recover, regroup himself, and take that shot despite the defense of Hierro. Hierro doesn't know where that shot was going to come, and he just let go that one-legged three way up bottom of the net.
Back-to-back threes from Dave Ildefonso. This one earlier over the outstretched arms of Gab Banal. He trims the gap to 3 points, 28-25, prompting Coach Eric Gonzalez to call for a timeout. Check out our Gixxer fan of the game, Born for Greatness. Arilang Norte, walang duda para dito sa Abra, but they're now facing the two-time reigning South Division champions. Aba, may bisita tayo.
Aba.
Si Boss Raymond Binuya.
Oo nga.
And of course, Kong JB Bernos, Kong Ching Bernos in attendance, along with Governor Takit Bersamin, Mayor Esther Bernos of Danglas, Mayor Nina Bernos of La Paz, and Mayor Andrea Bernos of Bukay. Commissioner Kenneth Doremdes with Rudy Distrito, Emer Oreta. Lot of personalities for game number 1. Lahat sila, no? Halos lahat. Naklakbay mula Maynila papunta dito po sa napakagandang probinsya ng Abra to begin festivities here. But so far, Quezon doing a great job. Sila ang lamang dito, although Ildefonso has come alive in the last minute for the Weavers.
Yeah, you have to watch out for Dave Ildefonso because he was the guy that torched them in the regular season loss when they played here against the Weavers.
Banal, the pass to Sandagon. Sandagon inside, rejected by Raven Gonzalez.
It's tough to get off a shot against Raven, you know that. Not that easy.
Approaching the halfway point of the second period. Abra swinging the ball to Marwin Taiwan. Pasa pabalik kay Ildefonso. Switch by Sandagon. Ildefonso maintains his dribble. Fires a free. In and out. That would have tied it.
Well, he had the right thing in mind. He wanted to draw that defense and take a shot over it.
Banal. Trying to break down the defense of Gonzalez. Pinasa muna kay Sandagon. Ang pantay niya si Simon Camacho. The cut by Opiso. Pasa palabas. Banal. Masyadong malakas yung kanyang tres. Actually, Gonzalez altered that shot. Shake and bake. Mike Ayon misses. Ball tapped by a Husker. It will stay with the Weavers.
I'm sure si Coach Eric okay siya doon kahit na natapik yung bola palabas nitong Quezon Huskers because coaches always tell you you have to end your defensive stop with a defensive rebound, and right there Gab Banal and even LJ Gonzalez really trying to secure it. Kaya lang yung kalaban nila medyo malaki rin, JHU and Raven Gonzalez, and so they touched it last before it went out.
RJ Minerva, who also did a yeoman's job of getting Mark Pingres into foul trouble early in game number 5. Ildefonso, one-legged shot. He's worked on that shot tirelessly, Coach Mike.
Is it high time now that we change that D to Dirk instead of Dave? That's one-legger of Dave has really produced here for the Weavers here in the second.
It's a traveling violation against LJ Gonzalez. The Abra Solid North Weavers in the midst of an 8-0 run, all coming from this guy, Dave Ildefonso.
And almost the very same shot attempt, that off-legged shot with a lot of air underneath that shot, allowing it to find the bottom of the rim.
Pagkakataon na lumabang para sa Abra. Mike turns down the shot. Now he pulls up. He will miss. A pushing foul will be whistled against RJ Minerva, however.
You see, Ken, how nung pinasa nila yung bola sa poste kay Alfred Batino, the Huskers weren't panicking because they'd seen that in that Binyan series. And so they understood where that ball was gonna go. Unfortunately, there was a foul call on it.
10 seconds left under shot clock. Batino working on Minerva. He backs him down. 2 seconds left on their shot clock. Gonzalez, the one-hander. It is short. And sky high for the board was Christian Pagaran.
And again, if you're gonna try and dig in from the post against the Huskers, walang problema yan. They understood coverages na, especially with that Binyan series.
Gonzalez na agaw yung bola. Pasa kay Taiwan. Gonzalez will slam it down to take the lead back for the Weavers. And Coach Eric Gonzalez has seen enough as Quezon getting into one of those droughts. As we check out the fast break of the game, brought to you by Extreme X Play on-the-go speaker. Take your music anywhere.
And Raven Gonzalez does not only block shots, he also steals possessions and runs the length of the floor if you allow him. And he's just that very aggressive big man that runs the entire length of the floor for the Weavers.
10 unanswered points for Abra, prompting Quezon to zoom for time.
Back in Abra for the MPBL National Finals, everybody in this venue, majority of the fans on Facebook and YouTube believe that this series will be done in 3 games. Ironically, Coach Young Garcia is not here to prove them right. He is here to be the voice behind the Weavers, saying talent is not the only key to a championship. It's patience, perseverance, and a lot of mental toughness to get through the chemistry of the Huskers. They have the best passers, 3-point shooters, running bigs. We need to outwork that. Coach Young looks up to the whole coaching staff of Quezon, its players, more importantly, Fuentes, Opiso, who were his former players in CEU. Mula high school to college, Judel had a few MVP awards and rings with Coach Young. Alam ko ang kapasidad ng mga yan, and he knows that when he plays, whether in game 2 or 3, it will be hard. Again, Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Pika. And Coach Young Garcia, amidst all the storm, Judel Fuentes is a good sign that he is cleared to play in one of these games. But right now, Abra, 12-0 run, 8 points from David Defonso, the last 4 from Raven Gonzalez. And that time halted by that basket by Joseph Cabaini, cutting the lead down to 31-30.
And Coach Eric, every time he needs heft and height inside the paint, he always goes to Joseph Cabaini, who was big in that latter games of that series against Binyan, especially in game number 5. And so the hope is, he continues to be that kind of guy for Coach Eric.
Wayward pass from Lagrama. Good thing they recovered the basketball. 2 minutes remaining in the second quarter. The crossover dribble by Topeng. Ball tap by Ildefonso. Shot clock winding down. Dave dives on the floor. Sends it to Taiwan. As Pagaran forced to give up the foul. But down on the floor is Topeng Lagrama.
But Topeng twice lost that rock on that side of the floor. Pretty much too close to the sideline. Almost that trap area. And Gabaini right there with that good finish against Raven Gonzalez.
Play of the game is brought to you by 747 Live. Dito ka sa legit, your game, your chance, your thrill, only with 747 Live.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Eric, you love that quick impact itong si Joseph Gabaini, especially on that big spot inside the paint. The shot, the makes that have been missing in the second quarter for the Huskers have been threes and perimeter jumpers. Everything else has almost been exclusive inside the paint for the Huskers.
Brickman to Serrano. One-hander by Encho Mintes. Rebound grab by Joseph Cabaini.
Ganda talaga ng binibigay na presence inside ni Joseph Cabaini. Yung sipag at punggo, talaga napakalaking bagay.
Both teams, unbelievably, have yet to take a free throw, and we're winding down already the second period. Just goes to show you the discipline of both these squads on the defensive side of the floor.
Clearly, you don't send anybody to the free throw line. You're not, fouling shot takers, and you're really just challenging, honestly. And you're staying right in front of every guy, and every gap is always filled. So hindi ganun kadali for those cuts to come in. I'd like to think, if I review correctly, a lot of the assists have really come from, especially for the Weavers, on fast breaks.
Itong free throw na ito ay hatid sa atin ng Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Gabayni nails the first free throw. These are the first 2 free throws of the game.
And it comes from Joseph. And ganyan kahalaga ako sa sariling opinion ko, the way that he performed in game number 5 against Binyan. You have movable bigs in Simon Sandagon and even Gab Banal, Vince Magbuhos, but Joseph Gabayni really just brings in a different dynamic on that big spot for Coach Eric and the Huskers.
Missing the back end of his free throws though. That's why this remains a tight game. 31 apiece. Bagsak si Abundo. Sumaksak si Batino. At siya rin ay tutungo sa free throw line as he got fouled. 63 seconds remaining in the first half.
And one of the things that also the Huskers have done in that regular season game was to always go under on ball screens, really, almost tempting every Weaver to take a 3-point shot. That time around, they found that roller in Batino, and he is just similar to Gabayni, very hefty inside the paint.
Pero yung mga offensive rebounds and shot opportunities
Yes.
na extra na nabibigay niya sa Abra, especially in those last 2 series against Caloocan and
Correct.
Pangasinan, were really key in them emerging victorious in both those 2 squads.
Oo, dalawang series yon, yung Caloocan and Pangasinan, kung saan rebounding nga naman talaga naging very busy para dito sa Abra Weavers in that series. And so for them to come in here, bring that same mentality off the boards, should bode well for Coach Yong and the rest of the Weavers.
LJ Gonzalez with 8 points. Abra settling into a 2-3 zone.
Right.
Switching things up. Baseline drive by Yero. The fake. The finish from Vince Magbuhos.
I like to think initially that they tried to go on a zone, but once that dribble penetration or that ball gets in the post, they immediately switch it to man. Speaking of the Weavers.
30 seconds left in the second period. Brickman. Ball deflected by LJ Gonzalez. He is now off to the races. He will pull it back out, recognizing that they could opt for the last shot of the half. 11 seconds remaining. LJ getting past Jason Brickman. Abundo is free for a free. Rebound Uduba, still enough time for the Weavers. Ildefonso rejected by Gabayni. And that signals the end of the first 2 quarters, where the Quezon Huskers had their biggest lead at 9 points. Abra behind Raven Gonzalez and Dave Ildefonso catching up. In fact, even took the lead briefly here, but we will settle with a tied ball game after the first 2 quarters. Actually, it's the Huskers in front 33-31 over Abra at the half.
Quezon Huskers reign supreme in the South. Kanina palibre yan, and they finally scored. Gabayni the cleanup goal. Magbuhos, yes!
A rim rocker!
Simon Snapdragon! Step back three. It's good! Ildefonso will slam it home.
Not allowed those dribble penetrations.
The MPBL National Final.
back in Bangged, Abra for your Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League National Finals. My name is Mika Abesamis and right now I am joined by two very special guests, Consi Jeric Teng and of course Congressman JB Bernos. Magagandang gabi po mga Ginoo. Consi, what an impressive start no for the Quezon Huskers, pero alam naman natin ang kapasidad ng Abra Weavers at sa second half mas importanteng mentally tough ang Quezon Huskers.
First of all, pagbati po kay Kong JB. Maraming salamat po sa pag-alaga po sa aming team Quezon Huskers dito po sa inyong probinsya. Against Abra, alam naman natin yung capability ng Abra. They're number one for a reason. Isa lang talo nila. So we have to give our best effort talaga. Every possession counts. May mga lapses kami on defense. That cannot happen sa second half.
Maraming salamat, Consi. Alam kong lahat ng Quezonians ay nanunood ngayon. Anong gusto mo sabihin sa kanila?
Yes, salamat po sa lahat ng mga Quezonians na sumusuporta po sa amin. Nanonood po ngayon live. Gayon din ang aming mga team owners. Talagang nakasubaybay po sila ngayon. Governor Dr. Helen Tan, Boss RD Ronel Tan, Congressman Attorney Mike Tan, Bokal Doc Kim Tan, Dr. Camille, our Mayor Ralph Lim, our team manager Attorney Don Kapunan. Siyempre, ang mga kababayan ko dyan sa Gumaca, Quezon, magandang gabi. Sana pagdasal po natin na matuloy-tuloy yung team and hopefully we end up with the win.
Right. Maraming salamat once again, Consi Jeric Teng of the Quezon Huskers. Magandang gabi. Kung although hindi natin masyadong gusto no, yung first half, pero panalo naman ang suporta ng lahat ng Abreño na nandito sa loob ng court ngayong gabi. Kumusta ka, Kong JB?
Una-una, nagpapasalamat ako our creator for bringing Abra to the national championship. Pangalawa, nagpapasalamat ako sa lahat ng mga tiga-Abra for all yung walang sawang pagsuporta. We are in unfamiliar situation na nalamangan tayo by halftime. But I guess it's due to the long layoff of the team. 2 weeks na layoff ng team. So I guess right now in the dugout they're mapping everything. Kaya they should get back to their senses, to the drawing board. Kailangan bumalik sila doon sa game plan. And I guess alam niyo, yung mga taga-Abra, we really can't lose this game.
Maraming salamat, Kong JB. Alam ko namang napakalaki ng tiwala nyo, syempre kay Coach Yong at sa inyong players. At syempre, marami rin po kayong kasama dito. Sino pong mga gusto nyong batiin? Nandyan sila, Kong Ching.
Yeah, of course. Yung family, Congresswoman Ching, yung mga anak ko, Mayor Nina and Mayor Jaja, and all the mayors of the province of Abra, they're all here. Governor Takit Bersamin, maraming salamat, Gob. Sa lahat ng tiga-Abra, kada kayo amin, agyaman na kada kayo amin.
Maraming salamat once again, the proud owner of the Abra Solid North Weavers, walang iba kundi si Congressman JB Bernos. Magbabalik po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League National Finals.
Bound for greatness, one team seeking for redemption while the other has been one of the most dominant teams in MPBL history. But right now, on the road, the Quezon Huskers have a 2-point lead over the Abra Solid North Weavers, 33-31. Muli po, Ken Pangilinan with Coach Mike Perez at courtside. We have Miss Mika Abisamis. Coach Mike, lumamang ng bahagya itong Abra Solid North Weavers, but Quezon making their run, and they had their biggest lead at 9 points, 28-19, but Dave Ildefonso and Raven Gonzalez combining forces to give them the lead back via that 12-0 blast. Pero maganda rin yung pagtugon nitong Quezon Huskers in them finishing strong at the end of the second period.
Ako pananaw ko dito, ang mahalaga dito is yung shot making para dito sa Quezon Huskers. You might see 10 lesser attempts for Quezon versus Abra, but that 53% is really bound by yung magandang interior passing nila. Well, if you look at the 3-point makes, hindi naman nagkakalayo. Yun ang naging dahilan kung bakit dumikit rin itong Abra Weavers. And those threes right there, you know, top of the key, the right side of the wing, diyan sila nakakuha ng magandang tres, plus the perimeter jumpers on that left side of the floor really is because of magandang mga pasahan para dito sa Quezon Huskers. And that to me are the shots that's missed in the second quarter, which is allowed itong Abra Weavers naman na sila naman yung pumuntos sa perimeter and sa labas, kaya dumikit itong laban natin. You see right there, a lot of those shot makes from that right side of the floor have really come in the second quarter. A lot of it has really been mostly on the paint, but only because the shots were going in for Dave Ildefonso and even the other guys. Nakapakalaking tulong niya na makabalik itong Abra Weavers at, you know, makahabol dito sa second quarter.
A lot of paint points for Abra, but most of their shots, particularly from the outside, coming from the left side of the floor. Pero nakita mo earlier with Quezon, their freeze coming from either top of the key or from the left side. With the Weavers though, Dave Ildefonso had 10 points to lead the way for their squad. Raven Gonzalez, 5 points from Jason Brickman, 4 naman off the bench for Encho Serrano. While for the Quezon Huskers, LJ Gonzalez coming out strong with 8. Christian Pagaran and Simon Sandagon and RJ Minerva all coming off the bench. 7, 6, and 3 points respectively. Huge reason why they have the edge in bench points, 20-12. Talking about the Huskers. But now, third quarter begins with Abra having first crack at it. Ildefonso forcing it up. Gio Chu was right there, grabbed the rebound. Ildefonso not happy with the non-call.
And Yerol was really just staying right in front of Dave on that drive. Dave felt that he got hit on that shot. But again, you have to close out a defensive stop with a defensive rebound. That time they failed to do that, and naka-recover itong si Gio Chu. That's why he's on the line.
Only the third and fourth attempts from the free throw line for Abra as Gio Chu knocks down the first.
Well, you really got to continue if they're Abra Weavers to continue to take those shots from the outside, especially after a ball swing, you're not early on the shot attempt, which is yun rin yung ginagawa nitong Quezon Huskers. They're taking their shots late in the shot clock, moving the ball around, side to side, north to south, until they catch that defense late. That worked in the first quarter. Medyo hindi natin nakita yan dito sa second.
6 points from Jeochu. Meanwhile, the response from Joseph Gabayni with a bank shot.
And Joseph's got to take those shots because si Jeochu is always going to camp outside. Oduba from 3.
It will pop out. Gonzalez comes away with a rebound. LJ using that Magbuho screen. So little bit of a different set to open up the third for the Huskers. Altamsi is free for a free. Off to the right. John Oduba corrals the miss.
Matter of fact, Ken, to your point, I think that's the first time we've seen a ball screen action by the Quezon Huskers. We did not see, or very rarely saw that in the first half. Right now, a little bit of chippiness between Hierro and Dave. Hierro really trying to be very physical against Dave because he's gotten torched so far in the first half.
Coach Eric Gonzalez wants his team to achieve more, to seek more, because he thinks they're far more better than being just the South Division champions. But they have to find an answer for this guy, Mike Ayonayon, hitting a free to give the lead back to Abra, 36-35.
Well, just good execution by the Weavers right there. In the same way, good ball movement for the Huskers in this instance. And the activity inside continues with the John Oduba going up against Vince. Vince looks hurt.
Yeah, holding on to the head. Some chippiness between Joseph Gabayni and Gio Chu. Again, they're missing Judel Fuentes, although Mika reported that he is bound to return here in the finals. Ayun, sa pool.
That's head, the back of the head.
Yeah.
And might even be an unlock sport.
So they will take a look at it. Some nagpupustahan lang.
Part of the playoffs. Part of the finals.
Ilang araw pa tayo dito
Yes.
sa Abra. Bonding muna ito. Commissioner Kenneth Doremdes, Head of Operations Emer Ureta. And, well, Mika reported about Coach Yong Garcia talking about patience, perseverance, being mentally tough. And they're getting a stern test right now here because the Quezon Huskers really came out strong, and they've continued that here at the start of the third. Just a regular foul, though, against John Oduba.
Well, thank you fully for the Abra Weavers. That's just a regular foul. And I'd like to say, Ken, that yung patience na hinihingi ni Coach Yong, very evident in the second quarter with the way that they ran defensively, being patient with those coverages, rotating to defensive assignments, and just making it difficult for the Weavers, for the Huskers in the second quarter.
Hierro under the rest. Flip shot won't work.
Great rebound right there by Jeochu, boxing out Joseph Gabayni before securing the rebound.
Jeochu handoff to Mike. Brickman working on Gonzalez. Jason Brickman gets to his spot. High arcing shot from mid-range is good.
Well, twice Jason Brickman has been involved offensively for the Weavers. One of that pass on that fan away by Mike Ayonayon. This time around, that snake inside, getting past the defense of LJ and then putting up with that 15-foot jumper right in front of the rim.
Gonzalez popping out. Uduba in front of him. Altamsi goes right at Jason Brickman, lays it up and in.
Tsaka there's more of ball on the floor action para dito sa Huskers. Kanina more of passing, and you're seeing more dribbles from the Huskers.
Way off on that three-point attempt was Dave Ildefonso. Magbuhos hits the deck once again. Another foul whistled on John Oduba.
And I like how Vince has been active in getting to that low block on that left side of the floor, understanding that he's got a good chance of posting up against John Oduba. Mahirap maging kabantayan si John sa ilalim, pero alam mo kung may pagkakataon ka, you're gonna go and try it.
Baseline inbound para sa Quezon. Magbuhos, libre si Pagaran, di nila nakita. Ngayon na kay Gonzales ang bola. LJ. Pass broken up by Mike Ayon.
Oh, no.
Nice pass! Jeju with a two-handed slam!
And to the delight of Kong JB, you love that it actually started on the defensive end of the floor. But Tamsi answers back with a three. And mahalaga yan para sa Huskers na big play, sagutin natin kaagad para to try and take out the momentum that you get from the support of the bench.
Ildefonso off target. We are tied 40 apiece.
Good skip.
Pass.
Good skip.
Ayon. Too strong. Gabay need the rebound. Gonzales off to the races. Bounce pass. Pagaran. The fake. Gabay to Gonzales. They will recycle their offense. LJ strong to the basket. No good. Jeju the rebound. Pagaran comes away with a steal. Approaching the 6-minute mark of the third.
Mismatch right there. You got to take it.
Gonzales will try to break down the defense of Jeju one-on-one.
Watch how John Oduba's camp right there. Even Mike Ayon.
8 on their shot clock. Gonzales settles for a free. And Jeju doing his job, getting Abra the possession.
It almost seemed like in defensive coverage, tinitempt nila pumunta sa kaliwa si LJ Gonzales.
Kixer, great move of the game, born for greatness.
The pass that leads to that dunk by Jeju. Just very good read in open floor for the Weavers with that finish by Jeju.
Sinalpak, dalawang kamay ni Jeju.
Tsaka maganda dito sa, actually not just Jeju. You talk about Raven Gonzales. Those bigs can run the floor with their guards. And so, making themselves available just in case positional advantage happens inside the paint against when they're defended by the smaller guys.
Pumasok na sa loob si Encho Serrano at si Ryan Batino. Batino backing down Opiso. One-handed shot! Binisik lang ni Ryan Batino.
Well, we talked about nakita na ng Huskers yan with Mark Pingris, but it's different dynamic altogether. When you have Alfred Batinos, you see a jumper right there by Christian Pagaran. Mahalaga para sa Huskers. Big plays, sagot ka agad. Huwag hahayaang mag-build ng momentum, especially sa tulong ng suporta ng crowd dito sa Weavers.
And you love that he took the challenge of breaking down Dave Ildefonso off the dribble as he ties the ball game up at 42 apiece. Sandagon tagged with a personal foul as he was trying to battle down low.
Well, yung battle sa ilalim na yun, gusto unahan i-front nito ni Simon Sandagon si Batino. He does not want Batino to get that ball on the low block. Well, on the other end, habang binababa ni Jason Brickman yung bola doon sa wing, medyo nag-go under yung depensa. Medyo delikado rin yun if you're the Huskers because Brickman can definitely hit you from the outside.
Brickman, pass to Encho Serrano, lines up a free, clanks off the rim, and Pagaran once again swooping in to get the defensive board.
How about that defensive board by Pagaran?
Abundo facing a double team, lost it. Ahead is Dave Ildefonso, sidestep beauty from Dave Ildefonso. What a sequence for the Weavers.
I was going to say, Dave Ildefonso definitely working on his footwork. A couple of one-legged shots earlier, now a slowdown of that zero step before going to that finish.
What a pass! Sandagon though fails to finish, but he will earn himself 2 free throws. This is our fast break of the game, brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme Magpalamig, free installation for split-type air conditioners.
Another fast break that started on the defensive end of the floor. You've got the Sheriff leaking out. Look at that slowing down on that zero step. That first step that you get allowing that defense to fly by before going for that finish.
Using RJ Minerva's momentum against
Oh,
him.
yes.
Sandagon. First free throw is a miss.
Pero kung ikaw si Coach Eric, nagugustuhan mo na lahat ng mga big plays that got the crowd involved, palaging may sagot itong Quezon Huskers.
Not a lot of free throws in this game. In fact, only the third and fourth attempts for the Huskers. They are only 1 out of 4 after Simon Sandagon coming away empty. 44-42. Ildefonso sa bandang kanan, binabantayan ni Pagaran. Serrano working on Abundo. Turnaround shot is good for Encho Serrano.
Ball in his hands, that side of the floor, you allow him to spin, it's almost always guaranteed a basket for Encho Serrano.
Abra creating a little bit of a momentum. Pagaran amongst the tall threes of Abra, able to score with a reverse.
And the Huskers continue to use that foot speed, ball movement, man movement, quick passing inside the paint, making that defense rotate for the Weavers.
Christian Pagaran with 11 points. First guy in double figures for the Quezon Huskers. Pass broken up, numbers for Quezon. Mantagle. But great job of Abra getting back quickly. Tagle. Pass to Minerva, he recovers. He fires a free, blocked by Gonzalez. Raven to Encho. Serrano. Up and under move. Just breaking down the interior defense that time of Quezon.
Pakiramdam mo no nakita ni Encho Serrano si Mantagle na sa harap niya, alam niyang aatakihin niya kagad yung depensa na yun. But how about again? Play after play after play. May sagot itong Quezon Huskers.
Nice reply from Simon Sandagon. Dalawa ang lamang ng Abra, 48-46. 2.5 remaining in the third. Taiwan, free, no. Abundo the rebound. Quezon the chance to tie or take the lead. Mantagle on the left side. RJ Minerva, his shot bounces off the rim.
That was a good shot for the Quezon Huskers. Really just couldn't make it. Minerva was on the spot na very komportable siyang tumira pero hindi niya naipasok yun.
Serrano likes this matchup against Alvin Abundo.
He's liked everyone who's guarded him so far this game.
Oh, foul. We did not hear the whistle.
Oh, yes.
So Abundo apparently not a clean strip. Serrano will juke to the line for 2 free throws.
One might argue maybe a late whistle. Kaya ganun yung naging reaction ng coaching staff ng Huskers, including si Coach Eric. See that again right here. Encho Serrano's attacking every defender right in front of him. Oh, looked like a good strip. Sure looked like a good strip.
Challenge from the side of Quezon. So Serrano will earn himself 2 free throws. Coach Yong Garcia wants to achieve a title for the first time as a head coach here in the MPBL. We would like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Pasok yung una ni Encho. May balita muna tayo kay Miss Mika.
Encho Serrano is entering his 3rd national finals in the MPBL. The last 2 will forever be memorable as he represented his province in Pampanga. But this season is equally important, being the adopted son of the Abreños. He hopes that his experience in the national, specifically against Quezon, will be very beneficial to the team. Coach Eric Coach Yong asked for more defense from him, but for the guy who has shown that he can work well as a teammate, no champion ego, no superstar feels, he wants to give more. Ken, Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Mika. Yun yung ace up in the sleeve of Abra, despite the fact that, well, apart from Marquis, Marwin Taiwan, all these guys, this is their first stint
Yes.
in the finals. But Encho Serrano, having played, what, 6 games in the national finals with Pampanga, now going for that unprecedented third title for himself. And na-recognize ni Coach Yong that that's gonna be handy because like right now, Quezon, they're just being mentally tough at the moment and not giving anything away for Abra. And this is where a guy like Encho comes in na sanay na sa ganitong sitwasyon at alam niya kung ano yung dapat gawin.
At saka nanggagaling yan sa napakalinaw na mensahe galing kay Coach Yong Garcia. I mean, Encho, sige, yung scoring okay na yan eh. Hinihingan kita ng konti pagdating sa depensa dahil yan ka namin magagamit, lalo na yung experience mo in those finals games that you played. And clearly, Encho is up to that call. He understands, everything boils down to them hoisting the championship trophy at the end of the season.
Here he is. Natalbog palabas yung kanyang tres. Gio Chu bumagsak. At may foul na ipipito laban sa Quezon. Both teams are in penalty. Kabaini tagged with his first personal foul.
And Gabayni really had to dig deep in his bag as he tries to box out yung napakalaking si Gio Chu. Hindi ganun kadalian yan.
Gio Chu was perfect at the line earlier, 2 out of 2. Total of 8 points and 6 rebounds.
And you like how Gio has actually blossomed into the kind of player that he is. I mean, early this season when he came in, he was just trying to figure out a way kung paano siya makakatulong sa kanyang team. But the contributions that's really glaring from Gio Chu is the offensive rebounding. I mean, 6-4 in those series against Caloocan and the first game in Pangasinan, and they ended that last game against Pangasinan with 4 offensive rebounds.
That's tough if you're Quezon. Lane violation against them. So a substitute free throw coming up for Gio Chu, who I feel like Coach Mike has really earned his role here with Abra, because when he was part of those championship runs of Ateneo, he was mostly a backup to say Ange Kwame.
Yes.
But now, minsan pinagsasabay pa sila ni Raven, siya starting center. And well, amidst this really raucous crowd, and his parents are right here.
At saka napaka-importante ng maturity na yan para kay Gio Chu, especially as he partners against Raven. And Simon Sandagon just continues to exploit the drop coverage inside the paint against him.
Yan yung mga kailangan ma-hit nila itong Quezon, because that's where Raven Gonzalez is out of position to challenge and block those shots.
At saka gusto ko doon, Ken, is yung catch and shoot inside the paint.
Serrano umikot pero layo ng kanyang tira, pero foul ulit laban sa Quezon.
Well, these are tough calls that they're getting, Quezon Huskers.
Assist of the game is powered by 747 Live. Dito ka sa Legit.
Well, Raven was left to cover 2 actually. Either he covers that roller in Joseph Gabayni or Simon Sandagon. Either way, both are threats. And, just a good finish right there by Simon.
58.9 seconds left in the third period. Niluwa yung unang free throw ni Raven Gonzalez.
Well, with the 3s gone so far here in the third quarter, and a lot of the action being inside the paint, mas nagiging close itong laban na to with Abra Weavers.
Raven misfiring on both. So Quezon has a chance to take the lead on this possession. Gabanal. Skip pass to Yero. Sandagon. Binabantayan ni Gio Chu. Nahanap na papasahan. Finds Gabanal. 5 on their shot clock. Kabayni. Pass to Yero. Open for free. Umalog palabas at paloob ulit. Nice screen as well by Topeng Lagrama.
And so far they're back to no ball screens right now. Itong Quezon Huskers. Every ball movement has really come from single coverage. No help, no gap coverage. Really just allowing these guys to make decisions off the pass.
Serrano turns down the shot. Taiwan will not. And a good decision as he hits the free right back for the Weavers. Sandagon with a tough catch. Ball poked free by Raven Gonzalez. 2.6 left here in the third.
And while we talked about the maturity of JHU, how about the better performance of Marvin Taiwan, especially here with Jason Brickman is already in the Abra Weavers. That just is a testament to the dedication and the resolve of a Marvin Taiwan that, hey, I'm going to get my numbers and I'm going to help out the team.
Also, the way Serrano attracted the defense of Lagrama, opening up that shot.
Indeed.
From Marvin Taiwan. Pero meron silang pagkakataon na mabalik ang kalamangan sa kanila.
Watch out for Topeng.
Panal, no, it's with Kozum. Lagrama, Kozum to beat the buzzer. And that will end quarter number 3. Pretty much a back and forth here at the Governor Andres B. Bernos Memorial Gymnasium. As we take a look at the highlights of the game brought to you by Sip Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
A lot of the points in the paints have really come from turnovers converted into a fast break by the Weavers. That's where most of their scoring inside has come from. Pero itong Quezon Huskers, again, this is a quarter when there have been big plays for the Weavers, but Simon Sandagon and the rest of the guys from the Huskers just kept coming back and answering every point that they scored off big plays.
We head into the fourth. Abra with a 1-point lead over Quezon, 54-53.
Back in Bangged, Abra for the MPBL National Finals at kasama ko ngayon two-time MPBL champion. Wala kay ba kundi si Raymond Binuya. Grabe Raymond, last season nandito nasa Dubai tayo, nagsha-shopping ka lang doon, ano? Ngayon nanonood ka na dito sa National Finals ng Season 7 pero nakalaban mo rin itong Quezon Huskers. Anong masasabi mo sa kanila this season compared to last year?
Yun na nga, nakakamiss sa Dubai. 1 year na pala yun. Sarap doon. Well, yung pag nagkaiba ng Quezon ngayon, mas maganda yung depensa nila tsaka yung pasahan nila. Tsaka kompleto na rin yung lineup nila. Kaya medyo maganda yung tinatakbo talaga nila.
Alam ko na bukod sa nanonood ka ng National Finals, may pinapanood ka dito. Walang iba kung hindi si Mr. Encho Serrano. Anong gusto mo sabihin sa kanya?
Siyempre, my guy, Encho Serrano. Galingan mo, Chong. Support lang ako.
Maraming salamat. Anong gusto mo pa sabihin sa lahat ng MPBL fans, Raymond?
Yun lang, sana patuloy pa rin natin suportahan yung MPBL. Ang gandang liga, ang gandang limbawa sa mga player na nangangarap.
Maraming salamat, two-time MPBL champion Raymond Binuya. Ken, Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Mika. The OG Pampanga Giant Lantern, Raymond Binuya, who I feel like is one of the greatest ambassadors of the league. Dahil nagsimula yan, simulat sa pool. You see the quarter scoring here. Yung first and third quarter periods, Coach Mike, a lot of points put up by both teams. Second quarter, medyo nag-slow down. But, you know, for Abra, what do they need to do here if they want to hold off itong Quezon as Gabayni will miss?
Well, they got to continue to put pressure on the defensive end of the floor and force those turnovers because dun sila nakaalagwa ng malaki. Yung magandang scoring nila, especially of yung mga deflections and steals that they force, have really allowed them to go to open floor and attack the paint freely. But then again, conversely, para naman dito sa Quezon Huskers, kailangan pagpatuloy mo yung laban lang. Kahit na maganda yung mga ginagawang plays and spectacular yung mga pagkaka-finish ng Weavers on their end, you still gotta answer back and score points on your end.
Referees will take a look of what transpired in that last play. By the way, just to get this out of the way, happy birthday to Coach Louie Gonzalez, who I'm sure is watching right now.
Oh, Coach Louie, happy birthday. One of the OG analysts of the MPBL.
Yeah. LJ Gonzalez did not score in the third quarter. After coming up with 8 points in the first half, he really set the tone, hitting 2 big triples in the first
Yes.
period. Now here he is at the line. Itong free throw na ito ay hatid sa atin ng Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
And I feel it helps a lot his game. Etong si LJ Gonzalez. Because every time he makes threes, it really just opens up those gaps. Especially pag na-generate yung mga close-outs, pagbantay sa kanya. Because he's not only a good feeder, he's also a good finisher in the paint.
But missing both of his free throws. Abra stays in front. Step back free from Dave Ildefonso. He will miss. LJ Gonzalez with Vince Magbuhos, Joseph Gabayni, Joshua Yero, and Christian Pagaran.
Good closeout by JHU against Vince.
Vince, the shot fake. He drives straight to the cup for 2 points.
How about the help of Joseph Gabayni though, clearing that entire lane for that Vince Magbuhos drive after that, fake after that block attempt by JHU.
Dave matched up against Christian Pagaran. Serrano working on Yero. Settles for a free. Tatalbog palabas. Gonzalez against Taiwan. And Marwin giving up the foul.
I like that defensive switch of Coach Eric, putting Yero on Encho Serrano and Pagaran over on Dave. See this good drive right here by Vince Magbuhos. Really, drawing out that defense with that shot fake before putting the ball on the floor and attacking the paint.
Also credit that screen provided by Joseph Gabayni. Now he offers a screen up top to Gonzalez.
Good
Magbuhos, balik kay Gabayni, turns down the shot. Now he settles for a free throw jumper. And that's exactly what Quezon needs. They are up by 3, 57-54.
And he has to take that jumper. JHU has been drop coveraging against him. You have to take that shot if you're Joseph.
18 assists already for Quezon. Joseph Gabayni with 7 points and 7 boards. Batino goes at Gabayni. He will miss. Gabayni secures his 8th rebound.
Another big play involving Joseph Gabayni, this time on the defensive end of the floor.
LJ, pass outside. Magbuhos puts it on the deck. Fires a pass to Yero. Balik kay
Nice
Magbuhos.
movement.
Titira sa 3. And Dave Ildefonso with his 3rd rebound. Mike, he challenges the defense of Vince, and Magbuhos will be called with a personal foul.
Kaya napakahalaga para sa Quezon Huskers na hindi turn over yung bola. Yun ang nangyayari. Okay, may steal yung bola, tatakbuhan sila sa kabila, parating pa lang yung mga kakampi nilang depensa, naka-atake na yung Weavers inside the paint.
Abra, throughout the course of their stint here in the MPBL, is 9-0 at home. They were 3-0 last year. 6-0 this year. Won both of their games in the elimination round against this very same Quezon Husker squad. Tinalo rin nila yung Pangasinan. And then in the playoffs, they beat both those 2 teams. And also, in the first 2 rounds, Ilagan, Isabela, and Caloocan.
Tsaka iba rin yung naging, credit to the team of Coach Louie. Iba rin yung naging challenge ng Ilagan against dito sa Weavers. But as I look at the numbers now, Ken, halos lahat dikit except for turnovers, points of turnovers and fast breaks, which is pretty much advantage for the Weavers only because doon sila pumupuntos ng marami. Pagaran with a 3.
This guy has come out to play off the bench. 14 points, 4 rebounds, hitting all 6 of his shots from the field.
In the quarters, when they made their threes, is when the Huskers have really done well. This time, a good ball swing over to Pagaran for that 3.
3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, their one-stop shop appliances. We have a timeout by Abra. They're down by 4, 60-56. Our fan of the game is brought to you by LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. And right now, Abra having trouble fending off Quezon at the moment. 6 minutes and 51 seconds left. A lot of people outside also watching the game live at the Governor Andres Bernos Memorial Gym. Grabe yung suporta ng Abreños para sa kanilang kupunan, Coach Mike.
Yeah, and yan ang dahilan kung bakit napaka-valuable ng home court advantage.
80,000 viewers on our official MPBL YouTube channel and on our official MPBL Facebook page. Maraming salamat po sa panonood sa Liga ng Bawat Pilipino. This is the MPBL National Finals, where the top teams collide in their respective divisions. Abra getting a stern test right now. Uduba inside, masyadong malakas. Bola mapupunta sa Quezon. They secure a stop off a timeout.
I know there's one thing that's evident from the Huskers. Even if you stretch back into games 2, 3, 4, and 5, in that Binyan series, is yung depensa inside the paint. You know, yung mga rotating pieces talagang aktibo at very rarely do you see them get beat. It's only because they turn the ball over at napupuntos sila, kaya sila nalalamangan ng Abra Weavers.
Quezon, whenever they hit their freeze, that's usually a good sign. Overall, they've shot 7 out of 19 from beyond the arc, 36%. But they turn the ball over. Abra still trailing here, approaching the 6-minute mark of the fourth period. Brickman forcing his way in, too strong. Batino comes away with a rebound, but pass was intercepted by Gapanal.
Napakahalaga kaya na hindi naiwan si LJ Gonzalez against that drive by Jason Brickman.
LJ getting past his defender, lays it in with his left hand.
A tale of two LJ Gonzalez's. Never getting beat on the defensive end, then beating that sole defender right in front of him with that left-hand finish on the offensive end of the floor.
Ildefonso stumbles. Batino goes up. Foul called on RJ Minerva.
Hindi rin ganun kadali makascore inside the paint para dito sa Weavers ngayon.
Play of the game brought to you by 747 Live. Dito ka sa legit. Your game, your chance, your thrill. Only with 747 Live.
The very moment that Mike Ayon opened up his hip against that drive left side of the floor for LJ Gonzalez, you know, right hand, leave it up for the left on that left hand finish. Pretty much LJ Gonzalez move.
Kailangan niya magpahinga ng bagya. He's huffing and puffing right now.
And it's given valuable minutes.
Yeah.
No? And actually, yung mga minutes na nakaka-contribute siya at na may make yung threes nila, dun maganda yung nagagawa nitong Quezon.
Pasok yung unang free throw ni Ryan Batino. 5 points, 4 rebounds. Missed his first 2 shots from the line. Mintis rin yung pangalawa. So lamang pa rin ang Quezon, 62-57. Abundo. Gapanal against Encho Serrano, asking a screen from RJ Minerva. Bounce pass to Abundo. Alvin Abundo drifting forward. Ball is with Serrano in transition. Encho takes off the glass. It will pop out. Quickly on the other end, Sandagon will not force it. Binigay muna kay Alvin Abundo. Back to Sandagon. He is free. He puts it up. He puts it in. Ildefonso wanted a charge.
Well, it was the low man help that side of the floor for Dave. And he was asking for that charge. But how about that decision by Simon Sandagon to wait for his teammates before, instead of attacking?
Foul against Al Tamsi. That's their last foul to give.
And this was that good roll by Simon Sandagon. Before that, hindi niya pinuwersa, no? Inantay niya yung kakampi niya. binigay niya. They went in that two-man action. That right side of the floor pretty much open for him to go and create.
Let me correct myself. Just a third team foul against Quezon. Maikling pahinga lang para kay LJ Gonzalez. He is back in. 4 minutes and 29 seconds left in regulation. They're protecting a 7-point lead. Jason Brickman scoreless here in the second half. Or actually, only 2 points here after coming up with 5 in the first 2 quarters.
Well, that was a hold on LJ Gonzalez pagkatapos na nabantayan niya itong si Dave Ildefonso, and I'm sure he had to go to that foul because he didn't want to get beat downhill. At hindi naman ganun kadali nabantayan itong si Dave, lalo na kung pababa na papunta na ng drive.
Pagaran also marking his return. He is tasked now to guard Jason Brickman. Solid screen provided by Batino. Now it's with Ildefonso. Sizing up Banal. Pass outside. High arcing free. Ball did not hit the rim. Batino, baseline drive. Scoop layup, no good. Battle for the ball. And it will end up with Quezon gaining the possession.
Oh, you see the activity of both these teams. Encho Serrano. You got LJ Gonzalez in that action. I believe it was Gab Banal as well. And everybody tapping that ball outside, trying to get possession of that rock. Who touched it last?
Yeah, very tricky situation. But Abra using their coach's challenge on that last out-of-bounds play. And babalikan natin yung resulta niyan.
Upon review, the challenge was successful.
Successful challenge by Abra, so they get the ball back. Fresh 14 on their shot clock.
Kaya importante rin talagang ninunurse mo yung mga challenges mo sa mga ganitong pagkakataon, lalo na tikitan laban. That clearly got off the hand of, was that LJ?
Actually, bago pa nun. Parang out of bounds na eh.
Si Hierro, right?
Oo, si Hierro.
Joshua, right. I agree.
Ildefonso popping out. Brickman for free. Way off. He was wide open. Got a foul against Quezon. Yeah,
he was wide open for that shot. Si John Amores right there.
Oh, ano? Si John Amores.
Oh, John Amores used to play for the Muntinlupa Cagers.
Oh. Serrano at the line. Encho Serrano so far with 9 points, 4 of 14 shooting from the field.
Got a couple of rebounds and 3 assists. No turnover so far for Encho. So pretty efficient showing for Encho Serrano.
64-58, 3 minutes and 55 seconds left.
The Weavers really getting tested here in the latter part of regulation. 4 minutes to go, you're down 6 at home.
Let's go to Mika.
Coach Eric Gonzalez had a good huddle. He told the players, nakita nyo na yung ginawa natin ng first half. Ngayon, naniniwala na ba kayo na kaya nating manalo? Ganyan lang, sunod lang tayo sa kanila. By the way, if you are looking for more shooters from Quezon, Diego Dario is getting married today. Best wishes to him and his beautiful wife, Sam Cor. None of the players attended, obviously, but what a great wedding gift if they get this. Ken, Coach Mike?
Oo nga, no? Congratulations to Diego Dario and Sam Corrales. I don't know if they have time to watch the game, but if they do, I'm sure they're pretty thrilled with how Quezon is dealing with Abra right now. Up by 5, 64-59. And Coach Eric Gonzalez, a lot of belief in his team. He will sue for time in a very tense crowd. And in there, Jacob Galicia, one of the breakout stars here this season, will be back after this short break. Maraming salamat po sa 90,000 viewers watching us live on the official MPBL YouTube channel and our MPBL Facebook page. At ang Liga ng Bawat Pilipino traveling here all the way to Bangued, Abra for game number 1 of the 2025 National Finals. Muli po Ken Panglinan with Coach Mike Perez. Mika Abisamis working on the sidelines. Right now, Quezon is ahead by 5, 64-59. Trying to steal one on the road. Altamsi sa loob, recovers and scores.
And again, yung interior passing is the other guys moving to open spots and being found by his teammates.
Encho blocked. LJ Gonzalez will pull it back out. 3 and 13 left in the fourth. Guarded by Marwin Taiwan. LJ bounce pass Gabayni.
This is big.
Pagaran has yet to miss, and that continues. 17 points. His third triple. Christian Pagaran.
And you talk about the patience of the Quezon Huskers to execute on their end of the floor. Got off that 2 on the ball. Took that shot on the corner for Pagaran.
Christian Pagaran with a game of his life. 17 points, 4 rebounds, hitting all 7 of his field goals, including 3 from downtown. What a performance.
You really just have to admire the performance of a Christian Pagaran stepping up to the plate big time in game number 1 of the finals against the Abra Weavers.
Coming into this game, averaging just 4.7 points. But boy, turning the tables and giving Quezon its first double-digit lead, 69-59.
But you know what's more concerning now, Ken? For the Abra Weavers, we have not seen them make a field goal in the fourth. Their points have come from the line.
Ildefonso hinila yung kanyang jersey as he went up.
Well, just 5 points scored by the Weavers in this quarter.
Dave Ildefonso just 2 points in the second half.
And they have not gotten any field goal makes. They've taken 4 shots from the outside, from 3, 1 shot off the perimeter, and about 6 shots inside the paint, everything coming off empty. And again, you go back to the defensive rotation inside the paint for the Quezon Huskers.
Abra, to their credit, has gotten a lot of free throw attempts in this half, but only 11 out of 18 overall. But that free throw makes this a 3-possession ball game. Still a lot of time left. 69-60. LJ against Mike Gonzalez on an island. 5 on their shot clock. Pull-up jumper by LJ, no good. Ball tap, Gonzalez unable to save it. And Abra getting a stop.
Welcome Kenneth was ready to receive that ball going on the outside. But again, you know, you love the effort of LJ trying to steal that, chase that ball and give them another crack at it. Now it's the Weavers' turn. You've got to score.
Brickman stepping into a free. He cuts it down to 6, 69-63.
6-point lead, approaching the 2-minute mark. You're still in this if you're the Weavers.
That's just the first field goal
Yes,
of
indeed.
Abra in this quarter. Bagaran turns down the shot. His first miss. We are down to the last 2 minutes of regulation.
And I think they're going to want to challenge this because this is very important. If the Huskers get this, they will have another crack at the basket. If not, then the Weavers, it's their turn to score their end of the floor. See this drive right here, medyo malalim yung pagkakadrive na yun ni Pagaran. Tapigan ng bola. Oh, that looked like off Joseph.
Mali yung angulo eh. Sa ang hirap kasi, wrong foot. Tried to go for the right-handed layup.
Right.
And after the review, Abra regains possession. A minute and 59 left. Just a 2-possession ball game. Still a lot of time for them to make some ground.
And rightfully so. That really should be Abra basketball. But yung attempt lang ni Joseph Gabayni to get deflection, I feel Joseph is one of the more unsung heroes of the Huskers in this run. Because you have to remember, he had to contend against the big guys of the Weavers.
Fourth quarter field goal, 7 of 10. Quezon, Abra just 1 of 13. They do have more free throws in total. Ion for 3. Air ball. Brickman with offensive rebound. Taiwan, he drives. Oh! Pass in between Brickman and Ion. They turn the ball over.
Boy, those were a couple of good shooters that side of the floor for the Weavers. Really wasn't clear where that pass was intended for.
And they go small. Ildefonso playing the 4 spot. No Encho Serrano inside for Abra in the closing minutes of this game.
Well, they do this primarily because yung movement, nalilate sila sa recovery on the defensive end of the floor. You need a good stop here if you're the Weavers.
Banal pass to Abundo, crossing the timeline, facing a double team. Magbuhos. Now it's with LJ. Pressure applied by the Weavers. Someone is free on the left side. It's Hierro who drives. He loses it. Chance for Abra.
Jason.
Rickman. Yes! Back-to-back threes from Jason Brickman as Abra pulls to within 3.
And that is why you get a Jason Brickman quickly off a missed shot. You run wide. Jason doesn't think otherwise. He just lifts and takes that shot.
Did not even blink. Several feet away from the arc. Much to the delight of Kong JB Bernos. Timeout Quezon. They're up by 3, 69-66. Jason Brickman, the efficient shooting from the field, but actually struggled in the second half, but exploding here in the fourth. And for more, let's go to Mika.
The first time I met Jason Brickman, he barely knew anybody in this league. But as the games went by, specifically the playoffs, he has had some huge assignments in Chris Bitoon and Hesed Gabo and started to recognize the respect he had to give these point guards. Today, he faced the toughest one so far in LJ Gonzalez. He said the guy is the energy and the engine of their team. He creates their plays. He scores. He's young. So Jason actually spent time studying the tendencies of LJ. He said, one thing I learned about this league, that everybody works with their heart. Could this be enough to make him stay next season? Ken, Coach Mike.
That would be a welcome sight, Mika. Maraming salamat. As he is showing his pedigree right now, hitting those 2 triples to give Abra a chance. But Gonzalez, in resounding fashion, responding by driving straight to the cup. But visibly hurt after drawing contact against Abra.
Well, visibly, LJ Gonzalez really wanting to be, up there taking that challenge as well. Jason Brickman has performed really well in the last 3 possessions for the Weavers. Yun rin ang gusto ipakita nito ni LJ Gonzalez. Right now, he's down on the floor after that drive. And hopefully, LJ is going to be okay. And more importantly, Ken, I want to go back to those missed shots by the Abra Weavers. Prior to those couple of threes by Jason Brickman, they were 0 out of 12 from the perimeter, the threes, and even the paint collectively. But soon as that 3 got hit by Jason Brickman, and then a missed 3 by Ion in the corner, they've been 2 out of 3 on their shots from the outside.
LJ has to be subbed here though, because he was down for a significant time.
That's mandatory, right?
Oo.
But he has to go back quickly.
So si Tagle yung aatasan to hit this critical free throws. 100K viewers
Oh my.
live on the official MPBL YouTube channel and Facebook page as they witness Eman Tagle try to hit these big free throws.
Off the bench, you're cold, this close of a game. This is a 1-possession game. You're playing, you're visiting the home of the Abra Weavers.
A place where for some teams, just too much.
Yeah.
Ilagan got blown out here in the first round. Same case with Caloocan. Pangasinan lost by a significant margin as Tagle missing both. Abra just down by 1 possession. Marwin Taiwan. The pass to Uduba inside. Gets the basket plus a foul. What a play. Taiwan setting up Uduba. And that is our assist of the game, powered by 747 Live. Dito ka sa legit.
Eman Tagle got lost in that role. That help coming from Gabanal very late, and you've got that point-blank shot attempt for John Uduba. That pretty much is easy basket for the big man.
Dami pang oras, 59.3 seconds left. Uduba has a chance to tie the ball game up. He hits it. 10-0 run by Abra after falling behind by 10 points earlier in this period.
0 out of 12 for the most part in the fourth. Now, they're shooting so much better.
Abra not yet in penalty. Gonzalez working on Marwin Taiwan. Double team comes. Banal back to LJ. 7 on their shot clock.
Still got time.
Gonzalez sidestep 3. Oh my goodness! LJ Gonzalez! What a bone-crushing free!
Oh my goodness! The battle of the point guards has continued. Huskers got LJ. Jason Brickman for the Weavers. How about this time right here? He had 7 on the clock. He knew the time that he had left. He was up against Mike Ion. Little step to that left side, creating enough space to lift for that made 3.
Showing us why he is arguably the top point guard in the league this season. LJ Gonzalez, shot clock winding down, knocks down a big time free. And we have a timeout by Abra with 30 seconds remaining. Let's listen in.
Okay. Mike. Okay. Pag-move. Okay. Go move. Dave. Okay. First option. Okay, nothing happens. Marvin. Labas. Diyan, dito ang screen. Okay. Go. Roll. Hey! Time out.
No trees! No trees!
Bugs! Okay! Tigilan na yan! Tapos sino may point guard na isa? Okay, Bugs! Kung sa isang week, now listen!
All X ha?
X tayo! Walang 3 points! Okay! Defense and defense!
Well, clearly, no threes. That's the clear instructions of Coach Eric. They, for the most part, have really allowed the Weavers to take those threes most part of the game. But in this instance, where you see Jason Brickman hit a couple, you don't want any more threes coming from the Weavers.
72-69. How many times has LJ Gonzalez done this in clutch moments? And Abra trying to respond here. Marvin Taiwan. 9 seconds left on their shot clock. Taiwan drives, blocked by Sandagon. Oduba inside, puts it up, puts it in! Oh! Back-to-back three-point play opportunities for John Oduba.
And this is why this season is gonna be magical. See that missed attempt right there, but John Oduba refusing to give up, and once again gets a crack and a good chance for another three-point play opportunity. The big man really just continues to move to locate missed shots and turning it into points for the Weavers.
John Oduba, 5 points in the fourth quarter. None bigger than that shot right there. Maging si Kuya Ruds.
Hindi na napigilan yung
Nako. Oduba though has to hit this free throw. He does! Quezon will use their final timeout in regulation. 18.5 seconds left. Or sorry, 18.7 seconds left.
There is just no quit in these two teams. Quezon had to go through that 5-game series against Binyan, and then a good recovery by the Weavers.
Kami tayo 14 seconds ha. LJ, ikaw mag-inbound. Simon! Yes, coach. Ikaw to. Simon, ikaw to. Help! Ikaw to. Okay. Now listen ha. Listen ha. Tamsi! Tamsi! Dito ka. Okay. Gab! Okay. Bugs! LJ na ako rito. Bugs!
Coach.
Ito gagawin natin.
Okay, coach.
Magaling maigay. Bugs!
Okay, coach.
Okay. So kayo, ang alam nila, merong ganyan. Merong stage. Pero ang gagawin natin, Gab! Simon! Si Gab, pupunta rito. Pero Gab, bumlas ka lang. Simon, gumanon ka na sa bola. Now listen, Tapsi, gusto mo ikaw yung gumanon. Okay, so may tao rito. Si Simon, kapitan mo. Now listen. Wait, LJ! Sumobot lang.
Well, a series of action that was discussed by Coach Eric. It sure looks like, see, 6 deadlocks and 9 lead changes. It sure looks like they might use Al Francis Tamsi as a decoy. And it might still end up in the hands of LJ Gonzalez.
Both teams, no more timeouts. This is the loudest that I've heard.
Right.
This building.
Indeed. Been covering games here for 2 years. This is the loudest. This is the loudest.
Walang duda.
Oh yeah, walang duda.
Mind you, Abra has a foul to give. Let's see if they will use it. Gonzalez. They get it out of his hands. Gab Banal. 6 seconds on their shot clock. LJ. Banal. Pagaran for free. Oh my goodness! Christian Pagaran. But they will review it.
Yeah, definitely they gotta review this.
That was close.
That was pretty close. I do agree.
Some high drama here in Bangued.
Everybody's up on their feet, waiting for the decision on this May 3. Was it before the buzzer or was it after?
This is a big time review. Let's see.
Look at the clock. Ball in his hands.
He did not get it
Did
off.
not get it off. Did not get it off. That should be Weaver's ball.
Yup, still in his hands.
I think yeah, we'll see that again. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that still was in
clearly.
his hands, clearly. Just
they-
that little dip.
But granted, Abra, they did a good job
Right,
of taking the ball away at the hands of LJ Gonzalez,
that's
make
right.
the others beat them. And as a result, this looks like a shot clock violation
Yeah.
against Quezon.
But them finding Pagaran,
The ground erupts. Yeah. That was pretty clear.
that was pretty clear, I think. The
Not
moment that clock hit 0, that ball was still in his hands.
Not sure what Coach Eric Gonzalez was trying to argue or...
See that again.
Malinaw eh.
See that again. Ball in his hands. 0.6, 0.5, 0.3, 0.1, 0. That still is in his hands.
Oo. Napakalinaw.
That was clear.
What a performance though by Christian Pagaran.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I just want to say, you like how JUTU also challenged that shot.
So now they're trying to figure out how much time rather,
Will be
is
left on the clock.
on the clock.
Yeah. Well, let me correct myself. That was Dave, I think, that challenged that
Yes,
shot
Dave.
by Christian Pagaran. But man, Christian Pagaran, that would have been big if that shot had counted. Clearly, that ball was in his hands when he took it.
4.7 seconds left. Still a lot of time for Abra as they try to execute this last offensive possession and try to win it. Quezon is in penalty. Both teams, no more timeouts. So the 5 on the floor for Abra is Marwin Taiwan, John Oduba, Jason Brickman, Dave Ildefonso, and Mike Ayon.
Yeah, that's the right spot for that inbound.
Guarding them, LJ Gonzalez, Al Tamsi, Christian Pagaran, Simon Sandagon, and Joshua Yero. Here we go. Taiwan, Ildefonso for the win. No! And we are going into overtime.
And again, that Huskers defense holding up inside the paint. He got that ball over to Dave against Joshua Yero. Simon was waiting inside and he had to take it because the clock was winding. Had a good line though from Dave.
5 extra minutes to decide game number 1. What a start to this series. This is the MPBL National Finals at the end of regulation. We are deadlocked at 72 apiece. A live look at the Governor Andres Bernos Memorial Gymnasium in Banguet, Abra. Si Kong JB, talagang very passionate with his team and for good reason.
That's right.
120,000 viewers watching us live on the official MPBL YouTube channel and official MPBL Facebook page. Marami pong salamat.
And I'm sure all those 120K viewers are enjoying this game. Well, this is what you get. You get, the top two defensive teams going at it in the finals.
How about Abra though, storming back from the 10-point deficit? Ball loose.
Oh, that thing's been going on between John Oduba and Gabanal.
A lot of contact. Ball will stay with the Weavers.
And alam naman natin, pagdating sa loob ng paint, talagang walang binibigay na madali itong Quezon Huskers.
Baseline inbound, Abra. Ildefonso trying to shake off Gabanal. Now it's with Batino, backing down Gabayni. Masyadong malakas. Si Uduba na naman na nakapulot. But that time he misses.
So far, John Oduba's getting the better of Simon Sandagon in the rebounding battle. Good thing they were able to secure it. Now it's their turn.
LJ almost lost his dribble. Gets it back from Gabayni. Gonzalez. Banal. 6 on their shot clock. LJ makes his move. He drives. Scoop layup. No good. Out of bounds. Abra basketball.
Right now, LJ going to his foot speed to try and beat the defense of Jason Brickman. Medyo malakas lang. Back rim yung tira na yon. And last touch before it went outside, Joseph Gabayni.
Itong Abra went back to their traditional lineup, having two bigs on the floor. Jason Brickman, tough shot, unable to convert. Ball will go back to Quezon. So they have John Oduba, Ryan Batino, Jason Brickman, Marwin Taiwan, and Dave Ildefonso. Sa panig naman ng Quezon, Simon Sandagon, Joseph Gabayni, LJ Gonzalez, Christian Pagaran, and Gab Banal. LJ puts on the Jets high off the glass and in.
Well, that middle lane, gut of the lane action by the Huskers have been a weapon that they've used, similar to how they did it in the Bedyan series.
Pagaran snags down his 5th rebound to go along with 17 points.
They say they go back to that middle ball action.
LJ Gonzalez with 15 markers.
He wants that clear left side of the floor.
Gonzalez working on Brickman, facing a double team. Skip pass, Pagaran. Jump shot, three-pointer is good.
The guy can't be denied. He's been shooting the lights out.
3 minutes left in overtime. 5-point lead for Quezon. They steal the basketball away. LJ Gonzalez, Christian Pagaran coming up with the goods here early in overtime.
They're going flat again on that middle ball action with Joseph Gabayni and LJ.
LJ settles for a free.
Oh, man.
LJ Gonzalez. Big time shot to put them up by 80-72.
When the threes start going in, you know it's Huskers basketball. They are the #1 3-point making team with almost 10 per game. This first one was that skip and that corner waiting hands of Christian Pagaran. And then again on that next possession, you're getting LJ Gonzalez, that twisted screen by Joseph Gabayni, nobody right in front, and really just a clear basket make from 3 for LJ Gonzalez.
8-0 run as Abra sues for time. A big barometer in this series is gonna be the 3-point shooting of Quezon. Iba-iba yung naging takbo ng kanilang shooting from the outside in the first 3 series. Particularly in the division finals against Binyan, they struggled, but boy, here in game number 1, shooting almost half of their triples, 11 out of 23. And those 2 threes by Pagaran and Gonzalez giving them this cushion as they do it on defense once again. Off the timeout, stealing that basketball away.
So far, this OT has been all Huskers basketball. Defensive stops and made threes.
Someone is open, but Gabayni unable to connect with Magbuhos. Tatlo yung sumalubong kay LJ doon.
Oh, pero kita mo kung gaano kalayo naging cover ng tulong para dito sa Abra Weavers.
Ayon.
That's big.
Drains a free, cuts it down to 5.
Here we go again.
80-75. We are down to our last 2 minutes. Gonzalez finally staying clear from Ayon, but they turn the ball over. Nobody helping him out in trying to bring the basketball down.
Vince looks hurt.
Yeah. Stumbling on the sideline.
But again, when you have these shooters, including Mike Ayon, you definitely got a chance. And that lift from that three on that left side of the floor, nobody right in front of him, and he makes it.
Yeah, clearly a free.
2-possession game.
Oo, halos kapareho lang nung sitwasyon kanina in the fourth quarter.
Now, minute and 53, you're down 5. I say it's too early to be going to your 3 game if you're the Weavers. But if it's available, you can't shy away from it, because especially if you have Jason Brickman inside the floor.
Now, if you're Quezon, Coach Mike, you've done a great job of at least limiting yung field goal shooting nitong Abra. You see Commissioner Kenneth Doremdes, Rudy Distrito, Emer Oreta. But they have to secure the defensive board.
Yes.
2 offensive rebounds, 2 3-point plays from John Aduba earlier. Gave Abra some life late in that fourth period.
Yeah, aside from the 3-point makes, it's the offensive rebounding, particularly from John Aduba, that has kept them in this game and forced this game into regulation.
Aduba receives the pass, balik kay Jason Brickman. Oh, what a pass. Aduba inside,
man.
he scores again. That was a gutsy play, but calm under pressure, Jason Brickman.
Somehow you have to marvel at the talent of a Jason Brickman. If he's not hitting 3, he's finding teammates for shots like those.
Gusto nyo lang puntahan si LJ. He receives the basketball against Marwin Taiwan. Facing a double team. Gonzalez, pinagpag yung depensa. Pasa palabas, Panal. Masyadong malakas yung tres. Offensive rebound by Joshua Yero. It's a foul against Aduba. Both teams, no. Actually, that's the good thing that they did in the fourth quarter. Not yet in penalty.
Yes.
Last foul to give for the Weavers.
That's right. They missed out on that box for Joshua Yero, allowing him to secure that offensive rebound and give them another crack at the basket for the Huskers.
1 minute and 25 left. Can Quezon hold on? LJ Gonzalez with 18 points. Another double team comes. That time they break up the play. Ayon susugod. And he will earn himself 2 free throws.
Boy, you like that defensive adjustment right there. Ayon runs to LJ, wants the ball out of the hands of LJ. They knew that pass was going to break the paint, but John Aduba anticipating it and getting that deflect. And now you've got Mike Ayon on the line. And you're down only 3 with a possibility of making this a 1-point deficit.
Mike Ayon hits the first free throw. Again, they're playing without Encho Serrano on the floor. So Coach Yong Garcia making a choice.
This game's not done yet.
Ay, layo pa nito.
Layo pa nito.
71 seconds left in overtime. 80-79. Quezon clinging on to this 1-point lead. It's been a game of runs in overtime. Quezon jumped out to an 8-0 start. Abra responding with 7 unanswered points of their own. And now, they try to get a stop here.
Another ball handler for the Huskers. with Abundo on the floor.
Abundo against Jason Brickman. Banal receives it. He traveled. Yeah, he did. Shuffled his feet.
That back cut was late. And Gabanal was going to the elbow on a jump stop, waiting for that back cut. Was it Vince Magbuhos? He was pretty much late. Kasi hindi na maganda yung spacing that side of the floor. There were a couple of them in there.
And again, Abra doing a solid job of not letting LJ Gonzalez catch the basketball.
Did we not say that these two teams are the top defensive teams? Boy, fans are getting a really good treat.
Big possession for Abra. 40 seconds left. Jason Brickman working on Simon Sandagon. Brickman drives, lays it up and in! How about Jason Brickman in crunch time? 15 points for number 15.
All of the big plays have come from this guy right here. Dribbled back, taking out Simon Sandagon, created that space, and able to finish going glass. Uduba did not even bother to go nearer because he knew that Jason wanted that layup. He understood the positional advantage downhill with Simon from the back.
What a run by Abra. 9 straight points. And Quezon will have to burn their timeout. We'll listen in to Coach Eric Gonzalez.
Tapos si Gab, isang dalawa. Backcourt mo hindi. Makinig. Coach yan. Makinig. LJ. Hindi mo tapos, ha? Atin yan. Si LJ, ang guard, tsaka si Gab dito. Decision maker, dapat nandito kayo. Okay, backcourt inbound tayo, ha? LJ, dito ka, Gab! Gab! Winston! Okay, Gab, dito ka, LJ! Okay, Alvin! Yeah! Dito ka! Okay, LJ, Alvin! Gab! Okay! Now listen! Tamsi! Wala ka muna. Kaya na tayo. Okay ka ba? Dito ka, Pag. Sa dulo ka. Be available for each other, ha? Wait, 1, 2, 3! Kailangan nyo restored!
Well, I like how Coach Nash mentioned about decision making. He says, if LJ is here, you guys have to be here on this side of the floor. And one clear instruction, though, is for Christian Pagaran to hold that right corner 3 and to make themselves available just in case.
Now they opted to inbound at the backcourt. So that gives them the full 24 seconds on a shot clock. 36 on the game clock. Abundo receives. Taiwan in front of him. LJ being denied by Jason Brickman. Na kay Abundo pa rin ang bola. Ngayon na kay LJ. 10 seconds left on their shot clock. Facing a double team. Gonzalez tried to split it. Brickman comes away almost with a steal. It's a mad scramble. A jump ball. Quezon retains possession. Now what Abra is arguing is that there was no clear change of possession, that it should have been a shot clock violation.
Wow.
Let's see.
And again, it's another possession that ends on a defensive stop. Well, they were expecting LG to get that ball that side of the floor, but how quickly was that double coming in? And they knew na susubukang i-split ni LJ yung dalawang depensa, and just that quick dig underneath allowed that deflect, and we are where we are right now.
And every time na double si LJ, they just have trouble executing it on Quezon.
At saka
and credit also yung swarming defense.
Swarming defense. Because as soon as that double team comes on LJ, then everybody guards gaps and understands where their man is. There's a guy who will cover two offensive players.
The Quezon Huskers.
And really just good adjustments from both these teams.
So after the review, Quezon will retain possession with 13 seconds left on the game clock. Ayun naagaw na ni Brickman eh. He had two hands on the basketball.
That's
so
right.
The interpretation was he did have possession. Pero dito nagkagulo na, karambola. Everyone leaving everything on the floor for this game number 1 victory. Quezon trying to steal one on the road. Let's see what they come up with on possibly the last possession. Gonzalez making his move early for 3. No! Banal! Tried to grab the rebound.
They will review this.
Let's see. Initial call was Quezon basketball.
Boy, they had a couple of looks after that miss by LJ. Good defense though by Marvin. See that three a little bit to the right. Hits the board. Gab goes for it. Yeah.
Oh, it looked like off Gab. Off his arm.
Yeah,
At least on that angle.
Yeah, at least on that angle. That's right. So the last two guys that they look at who touched it last would either be Mike Ayon or Gab Banal.
Yeah. Nakita mo yung ginawa ni LJ, Coach Mike. He tried to go quick. Kasi alam niya may double team na parating eh.
Pero may
he had to
pagod
rush
na rin.
it. Yeah, he had to rush it.
Tsaka may pagod na rin. I mean, the way and the intensity of the game and the way that the defense has been covering him, it takes a lot out of you.
Didn't you think though that that was the best possible available shot for them at that juncture?
Yes, indeed. And only because he made a 3 earlier.
Oh.
But again, lumalabas yung pagod eh. Dun sa situation eh. You can't blame LJ because pretty much that adrenaline allows you. This is the same look that I had earlier na naipasok ko yung 3-pointer. So why not take it?
Actually had a good look.
Indeed.
Had his legs under him.
Yeah.
But just way off on that
A little
shot
bit to the
that
right.
time.
Oo, konti sa pakanan yung tira niya eh.
Now, in case Abra gets the basketball back, Quezon kailangan ng foul dito.
They need a quick foul, that's right.
Because even if they foul, and even if Abra makes both free throws, this is still a one-possession ball game.
That is right.
Pero tingnan muna natin no, yung magiging resulta nitong review na ito. Wala nang timeout pagkabilang kupunan. Both teams in penalty.
And so to your point, this is very important for both these teams now.
Jay Castroverde, our crew chief, going to Richard Tampos.
The initial call was Quezon basketball. The review was inconclusive, so we will stand on the call. Quezon Huskers basketball.
Quezon will retain possession. 5.7 seconds left. Hold on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen. Possibly the last possession here in game number 1. Abundo to trigger. Magbuwas is free. The fake. He drives. No! And Abra escapes with a win. What a fight back by the Abra Solid North Weavers. Getting their first real test at home and delivering when it mattered the most. Visibly emotional kong JB Bernos.
Oh yeah, letting all that pressure, all that energy out after that missed shot by Vince Magbuos. And I tell you, we saw that same move from Vince earlier. That they got that look. They got Vince with the ball. He saw that closeout, went for that shot fake, drove that same side of the floor. Remember that quarter where Joseph Gabayni gave him that Gortat screen in that finish? That was a clear lane for him.
Our best player of the game is powered by 747 Live. Play what you love. win what you deserve.
At that point, when Jason Brickman came in, previous to that, they were 0 out of 12 in the fourth quarter. But this guy gave new life for the Weavers. A couple of threes, and then that really good pass here in OT for John Oduba. He just hits you and hurts you in different ways for the Weavers.
And coming away with 8 points both in the fourth quarter and overtime, 8 of his 15 points, Jason Brickman delivering for the Abra Solid North Weavers as they beat the Quezon Huskers in overtime, 81-80. They take a 1-0 lead in this best of 5 series. And go JB Bernos. Hindi na niya mapigilan ang kanyang sarili.
Correct. But if you're going to be looking at how the Weavers have played, talaga nga namang depensa rin outside from the 3-point makes of Jason Brickman.
Let's go courtside to Miss Mika Abisamis.
Maraming salamat. Congratulations, Jason. This is the closest this team got to another loss since the start of the season until you ignited their fire in the most important minutes.
Yeah, I think it was a tough game today. They played really well, but we just wanted to keep playing. We had a lot of time. Just keep playing next possession, and it was just a great game.
All right, what about Quezon do you think almost cost an upset?
They played really well. They shot the ball really well. They moved the ball. So they're tough to guard on the defensive end. So we've got to make adjustments for game 2 and be better on the defensive end.
But here you are, after overtime, you got this win. What do you want to tell your teammates, especially Coach Young and everybody else?
Yeah, big win. Just game 1. We got to get ready for game 2. So we just got to recover and get ready because it's going to be another tough game.
Kong JB Bernos and the rest of the Abra fans?
Yeah, shout out to Boss JB, Pastor Ferdinand, and all my family watching back home.
Thank you very much, Jason Brickman. Best play of the game is powered by 747 Live. Play what you love, win what you deserve. Again, Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Mika. Abra escaping from the jaws of defeat, down by 10 in regulation, down by 8, and now all indications for game number 2. That's gonna be on Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Dito pa rin po sa Governor Andres Bernos Memorial Gym. It's gonna be a good one. What a start to the series, Coach Mike.
Yeah, the Huskers may be 0-1 in this series, but they were that close to stealing a game here in the Abra Weavers. But at least if you're the Huskers, you know that you've got that good chance to try and get a win here at the home floor of the Weavers.
Earning their 34th straight victory the hard way.
Yeah, the hard way, that's right.
And that's gonna do it for our coverage for tonight on behalf of Coach Mike Perez, Miss Mika Abisamis, and our entire crew. Ako po si Ken Pangilinan. Maraming salamat sa pagtangkilik at pagsubaybay sa Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League National Finals, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.